Well, this is the second to last episode, I guess.
Maybe not, because we still got that movie. But this is
Oh
definitely
yeah.
the second to last anime or second to last episode covering just the manga.
Yeah. I know the next section isn't as large as this, actually. No, it's about the same size,
Well, it's a
I
little bit
guess.
less, but about the same size.
Yeah, so
But yeah,
it might be two more episodes. I don't know.
I
I
don't think so. I
guess.
think but it's only about 40-ish chapters. I think we could do it.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
anyways.
that's for the future. And now the now time is now, and the now
Wow.
time talking about now is the big one, the big old climax arc, the Holy War
Yeah,
arc.
it's definitely the last arc.
It, you told me yourself that I really felt like it too.
It really did, and Ash literally thought that it was the last arc.
Yeah,
Like she didn't even
only
know.
only the first half of season 5 is out on Netflix right now, and we told her last night. She was like, "Wait, it's not over. There's more?
Yeah.
What?"
So
Mhm.
yeah, it it
Yeah,
it it felt it felt like that.
it
Anyways,
felt
that's
well. It
yeah
felt suitably grand and climactic. That's a good thing.
yeah. Well, that's the end of the arc, which we're not talking about yet.
That's
We're
true.
talking
We
about the
got
beginning of the arc.
That's right. And what a way to begin the arc.
Yeah, and what arc?
Arthur's dead.
And what arc is that?
I said it already. The Holy
Oh,
War
did
arc.
oh yeah, you
You
did.
fool!
Fuck. Well,
You
anyways,
fool!
so it's chapters 257 to 306.
Oh yeah,
Um, yeah. With the anime, it was like episodes like 21
of
and
season
up
three.
of season 3, and then like the first like 12, I think, episodes of season 4. 12?
That sounds about
Yeah,
right.
yeah, that's right. 12 episodes. Yeah.
Yeah, as I was saying, F in the chat for Arthur, F in the comment section for Arthur, because he's fucking dead.
He gone. For
Yeah.
good. Forever. Never coming back.
It is a sad death, though, getting all of those little flashbacks through his eyes, thinking that, like, I'm sorry I failed you, Merlin. He's not freaking out. He's more just, like, sad he didn't get to do more and repay Merlin for all the confidence she had in him. And like the whole like we're seeing this through his eyes, and the whole time we see like Merlin trying to be like, okay, eyes on me, don't fall asleep. Come on, heal up, get the sword out. And like you can really feel the desperation going on. Meanwhile, Arthur's just kind of having this like sad little inner monologue.
And also, Kath looks really brutal.
Oh yeah,
He's just like darker than literally everything else. Like just
he looks,
shaded like really like darkly.
he looks like some sort of creature from Berserk.
Yeah. Man, what the fuck is Kath? I keep saying
Uh,
this, but what the
uh,
fuck?
apparently he's something from Purgatory. That was a part of like a little bonus notes thing at the end of one of the volumes.
Oh. Well, now we know. That makes sense though.
Yeah,
Because where the
good
fuck in the
review.
world is a fucking
Good reveal.
bodiless cat going to appear that can talk?
He's just chilling. Well, he's not chilling now. His friend died.
Yeah. Um and I guess he's just been like chilling in the boar hat this entire time, like through this whole
Yeah,
arc.
this is the last we see of him, and I think like on a map like showing where the different characters are, when it shows the boar's hat on the map of where everyone is, they show like a little Arthur with X's for eyes or something in the boar's hat. So I guess they're just keeping his corpse there for the time being, just stuck it in the freezer or something. I
Well,
guess
you know,
Cass just hanging out with it.
probably. Man,
Yeah,
you know
Arthur.
that story of the old lady who died and her cats ate her? It's like that.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, he has a cat after all, so.
that's fair.
Yeah.
Fox is like, no, my leftovers. Hawk was definitely gonna eat Arthur. You can't tell me he wasn't.
Honestly, yeah, definitely. I could believe that.
Definitely.
But yeah,
The
so
Arthur's dead.
he's gone. Yep.
Yeah, and Merlin is like Merlin's always
Devastated.
been a real, yeah, she's devastated. Merlin's
Yeah.
always been this real ice queen, always like in control, and even when she's not, she's
Sh-
always keeping her calm. But
sh-
like it's very telling how torn up she is, and it
yeah.
really makes you feel for her.
Merlin's always kind of just been like this pillar for like the seven deadly sins. Like she's like this unmoving pillar that keeps
Yeah.
everything together.
She's always kept her cool, and that's like been their saving grace time and
Mm-hmm.
again. Like when she kept Zeldris from tearing up the place, and even back when she first showed up and saved him all from Vivian.
Yeah.
But yeah, now she's got to like she needs that, and it's mainly Elizabeth that's really
Mm-hmm.
picking her up.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And also Escanor wants to like do something, but he kind of realizes that it's not really his place.
Yeah, that was nice, and it was in his big form too. So it's nice
Yeah.
that big form Escanor knows like yeah he gets that like they had something special that like he shouldn't be getting jealous over, and he just kind of he takes it. He doesn't
He
really take it on the
yeah.
chin. He's kind of pissy over it, but like he's not taking it out on Merlin.
Yeah. And like you said, like it's really
The
telling
fact that
because like he's basically just the physical embodiment of pride. So
mm,
to be able to put that aside,
yeah,
it's
it's
pretty cool.
Escanor. Like all of his best moments aren't the fighting, but it's whenever he can move past his prideful nature, and we see more of his big guy selves. You know, humbleness, I guess. Those are always his most
Yeah.
striking moments. Uh,
I
yeah,
guess
no,
now that I think about
yeah,
it, a lot of like the I feel like a lot of the themes in the series are like the sins kind of overcoming like the sins that they represent. Like
mm,
because King he's the sin of sloth, but his whole thing is about like
taking action.
taking action, yeah.
He's taking responsibility for himself.
And
Uh,
Meliodas was like wrath, but his whole thing was like try sealing away like his wrath, like which was his demon powers, like that
yeah,
made him into like his demon king
just kind
form and
just
stuff.
kind of dealing with it. He went to Druid therapy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's very much a thing in this series. The Sin's character development is kind of centered around moving away from the sins defining them.
Mhm.
Near the end of this arc, does pretty much the most selfless thing you can do for a person in order to save Elaine, thus like completing his arc and moving away from the whole greed aspect. Deanne learns to like love herself and stop comparing herself to others, and really like focuses in on this is my power. I'm Deanne, motherfuckers.
Mhm.
It's very nice. And yeah,
Interesting.
there's still a bit more to go, and maybe we'll see some more from these arcs. But for the most part, this arc really is a climax arc. A lot of characters kind of reached the end of their like individual path. King, Bon, Lothar's already kind of been there, but he also gets a lot of focus and development this arc.
Yeah, I feel like Gothar's pretty much done. It's just him like uh kind of just being
Eh,
there and like
He's he's reached the he's reached his climax, and the rest of this is kind of just falling action.
yeah.
Like through him, we learn about what the old Gother did. He's trying to atone for the old Gother's sins in regards to Mail, that kind of stuff. But like he's reached his emotional peak of sort, and now we're just kind of going down the hill with Gother.
Mhm.
Not in a bad way,
Well,
just
not down the hill, but like static or whatever.
right.
Yeah.
Not I
How
wouldn't say
it
static,
is
but
how it
like
is.
yeah, to go up a mountain, then you got to go come back down. We've reached the peak with him, and now we're just kind of going down the mountain of sorts,
Yeah.
dealing with the what's left. But yeah, that's where no time to mourn Arthur. Merlin's got to pull it together, and she does, and they're getting set for the Holy War. They know there are demons coming from Camelot. They know that Zeldris is still out there, and they're gonna wipe them all out. Now they got three of the four archangels on their side, so they're getting ready to do this.
Yeah.
They're
So they
they're
kind
putting
of they
together.
like form three different like units, I suppose.
Yeah,
There was like the
the,
Vanguard and the Assault Squad and stuff.
yeah. There's a defensive thing with Dreyfus, Griamore, Jericho. They're just kind of not around for this
Yeah,
arc. They get
they're
like half a chapter, and it's a nice half a chapter,
yeah.
but like they're just not around.
Yeah.
Then there's
They're
like the main brunt of the army, like the whole big army led by Hauser. Gil is there. Two of the archangels,
mhm.
most of the sins, and then there's like a smaller strike force of Ludociel, Merlin, Escanor, and the most important ones, Hendrickson and Gilthunder,
Of
going
course.
rolling up to Camelot.
Yep.
Bond's still off in purgatory if any ever you forgot, and so is Meliodas' emotions.
Yeah. Uh Meliodas proper is, in Camelot,
He- He's
about to get
chilling.
wrecked,
Oh yeah,
maybe. I don't know.
yeah. So yeah, everybody's suiting up and heading out. Gonna go start a holy war. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
War arc, war arc, war arc. Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Did this did this really feel like a war arc? Like
Uh
like
like
compare it to like the Thousand Year Blood War in Bleach, the Ninja World War in Naruto. Like yeah, there's armies
I s-
fighting, but
I
that's
still
mostly
don't
contained to the start. And like the two main act there's really only two real big main or no like three real big main fights, everybody versus male, um everybody versus Zeldris and Chandler and Cusack, and then the throwdown with the demon lord near the end.
yeah.
If this was a, you know what it is, you know what I think it is, it's because the enemies have too small a force of named characters.
So like
there's
yeah.
there's There's Zeldris, there's Esterosa at the start, Chandler and Cusack, and eventually the Demon Lord. That's
I
like
don't
five characters that we really know on the enemy side.
I don't really think like it didn't feel like a war arc because mostly because I just don't really have a good grasp of what the hell a war arc is even supposed to be.
That's
Because
fair.
like technically a war is going on, but like in like pretty much any other war arc you could think of. But like
That
it's never really like a defining feature. Like in the Thousand Year Blood War, for example, like okay, there's a war, but like no it, it's never like you see two sides of like a battle of like fucking just random soldiers just fighting and that's the arc. It's always an actual like it's basically just the same as any other climactic arc, but it just happens to be a war basically. So i
that's
don't i
that.
don't think that is really like a thing that you should
I
that
guess
really
so.
takes points
May,
off.
yeah. I'm not saying it takes points out. Maybe I'm just kind of like conflating certain tropes and expectations. I don't know.
Hmm.
I do think that is like a not really a problem, but just like something I would have liked is some more villains that we could see in the swing of things because we only really got like five or six.
I feel like it's a good number. I just think you have like such high expectations
Maybe, yeah, it's like a
because
personal thing, I
I
guess.
think there's already a lot of characters and like we already have characters like fucking Gil Thunder who's useless. So
Right, right, but that's what I'm saying. More villains would give the very large amount of heroes, yeah, maybe some more chances to do something.
uh
They don't need to be, the deepest characters around, but like a unique design and name.
Like an
That's
equivalent
something.
of Jericho or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
guess. Like just like so they could just like fight in the background. Like have like a
yeah,
couple of like higher ranked demons assault like Leonis and like have like a
yeah.
chapter
Something.
where you go over like the individual fights at each keep and stuff. That'd be
Yeah,
cool.
something like that's something I think I would have liked. But yeah, this arc was good. I really like this arc. I'm just, I'm just talking as things come to me.
Yeah. But like as in terms of like a war, like it really was only like the first like couple chapters like because literally like none of these holy knights matter at all.
Pretty much.
So
That being,
you wouldn't even want to see that if that were the case. So
yeah, I'm not really looking for like a 3 chapter uh magnifying class on whatever the fuck uh the mustache guy from the Pleiades, Sh Sh
yeah,
Sh
basically,
Schmolben,
I don't know.
Spoobar. I'm not really too focused on what Griamore is doing, you know? I don't need half a volume dedicated to what he's up to, but yeah, seeing giving him like a page or two to,
Oh,
throw down against a named opponent and win. Characters like him and Jericho and Gila getting to do that kind of stuff. It would have been nice.
yeah. Oh, that reminds me that thing with Dreyfus and Griamore was so
Oh
fucking
yeah.
stupid.
It
Holy
was
shit.
it was I have mixed feelings on it, but we'll get to that when we reach it. For now, for now we got to start this dang war and start it we do. I really dig this for the Oh wait, actually there was something I wanted to say
Yeah.
about the preparation for the war before we get into it. I'm not a fan that of the fact that that them saying that like, oh yeah, we're receiving aid from the giant and fairy races. I don't like that. That's just a footnote because it's been such like
Yeah.
a it's been such a big thing that like, oh, the 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 giant fairy and human and goddess races teamed up against the demons in the last holy war. It was such like a big thing about the last holy war
Yeah.
that like I would have preferred if like, oh, we got a chapter saying like, yes, the fairies will come to your aid, yes, the giants will come to your aid, and it should have been like King and Deanne like bringing them in.
I know it's so stupid.
It should have like that would have been the
Uh
perfect cap to them becoming the new leaders of their own respective races, having them rally their troops and being seen as the
yeah,
leader. Like, yeah, we'll
because
follow you.
I want to know like how were they like contacted? Like why are they coming? Because King is obviously the king of the fairies, but we didn't like see him
Yeah,
interact with any other fairies or like summon them. So like maybe the
yeah.
archangels just like knew what's her
Call
face?
Matrona.
Gerard. They just knew
Oh,
Gerard
Gerard.
and like was like, "Hey, we're back. Come help." And they did. And then with the giants, we've never even seen like
Yeah,
Diane go back to the Giants and just be like, "Hey, I'm like the new leader of the Giants now."
yeah. Of the living giants, we know two of them, Deanne and Matrona. And
Yeah.
Deanne's not even like their leader or anything. She's just
She
kind of a
she's
weirdo that
like
left.
supposed to be because like she like basically the reins were
Yeah,
passed to her
yeah.
uh
By Droll. Yeah,
by
Droll was the
Droll.
king of the giants, and
Yeah.
he's yeah,
He
he's
basically passed the title off to her, but
she hasn't gone back.
she hasn't interacted with any giants at all since then.
Yeah, I would have loved a chapter of Deanne rolling up, Matrona in tow, and just being like, "Who's the biggest guy here?" Bam! I'm the leader
Right?
now, and you know what we're doing? We're going to end the Holy War, and then we're gonna change how things are done here because we kind of suck.
And like yeah, and just like the giants and fairies just appear without any like needing for
Yeah,
convincing or anything. They just show up. They're just like, yeah, we were allies like 3,000 years ago, I guess, when none of us were alive, but I guess we're here now.
Yeah, it just feels like it feels like going through the motions. Like, yeah, the last Holy War had fairies and giants too, so they're here again.
It's
But by the time they arrive, the war is pretty much over.
yeah, and it's
Not in
like
terms of like chapter count, but like what the brunt of the forces are doing.
mm-hmm.
They're not really doing anything anymore.
Yeah, but it's fuck, I was gonna say something and I completely forgot. Whatever.
You know what it is? It's partially because Deanne's not really somebody that's focused on really. Like her,
Unfortunately.
yeah, unfortunately, her development is pretty much like arm in arm with King, and then when and that, but that's not even like equal because King has a lot of solo development too.
Because he's a man.
I, you joke, but
It's true.
yeah.
Uh, fuck.
Yeah,
I was gonna. I don't
what's
remember.
that?
I don't remember what I was gonna say.
Oh well. But yeah, it's time to start up this holy war, and it the really the this opening skirmish of this war with everybody, I really enjoyed actually. What did you think of it?
Uh, meh.
I it's the cast has become large to an unruly degree, and lots of characters have suffered for it. You know, like Gila, Hauser, Griamore, Jericho. They haven't done anything since like the first saga. But like here at the start, it actually feels like it's giving a lot of people something to do. We get to see them in battle and holding their own. Hauser especially. It feels like after so much time just kind of having the title of Grand Holy Knight, Grandmaster Holy Knight, he's actually acting like a leader here. And we see stuff like Gila lay down some cover fire on that Albion. Everybody charge this way. And
Yeah,
the Pleiades are doing stuff too. They got hit up with that breath of blessing from Ludociel, and they're able to kind of throw down real hard.
mm-hmm.
I love the bit of Death Pierce finally using his magic again to fuck with an enemy blast, and we get reminded like, oh yeah, he can do that.
I have
Speaking,
like
what's
yeah.
up?
I have like a big problem with like the power scaling at this point because like so in the Kingdom Infiltration arc, they like everybody was teaming up to like fight Hendrickson at like transformed into a gray demon and like they just barely managed to beat him and now
Yeah,
just everybody's just fighting like all different kinds of demons and albions and stuff and it's
yeah,
just
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That that is, you know, it's noticeable, but I would rather the armies actually be kind of even and being able to fight each other as two armies than just like, oh no, we're still not strong enough to take on the Grey Demons. Seven deadly sins, you do everything.
I feel like it's just because all of these people have kind of basically just been left behind and they're trying to do like they're basically trying to do like an actual like battle like in a war, but the demons don't have like foot soldiers that would actually be on the same level, so
They
they're
kind of feel
forced
downgraded.
yeah, they're forced to use the same demons that we've seen in the past, which were meant to be way stronger
Yeah,
originally.
yeah,
So it's just
it's strange. It's
a
a little
weird
better.
setting.
It's a little better when you account for the breath of blessing, but it is kind of weird.
No,
Speaking of
because the
which,
breath of blessing only applied to like most like the regular soldiers and then the Pleiades. It didn't apply to like Hauser and
Gila,
Gila, who were also like basically doing like most of the work outside of the
mhm.
sins.
That's fair. Yeah. Um, but speaking of the breath of blessing, I like that it isn't just like a free power up. it's essentially brainwashing as well. And it's a good reminder that even after teaming up with the protagonists, we shouldn't be trusting these archangels like inherently. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just another in the line of multitude of you know, situations where we could see that the angels aren't really so angelic.
Yeah, and that's kind of like a big part of this arc too, like characters and the audience realizing like the goddesses aren't like they're not so high above the demons themselves, and it all kind of comes to a head when, as Ludociel's fading away near the end, he realizes that like, oh, we have to make peace. We're not really all that different. We can't just go wiping out the demons because we're not that above them,
Hmm.
and that's a good thing.
Oh, and now that I'm looking, there was a cover page that
Oh yeah,
showed all the demons and their power levels.
yeah, that was chapter 259. I'm glad I like that it gave us a rundown of all the demon minion types.
Yeah, and so basically the thing I said earlier about how there were no types of demons that could like serve as like a suitable like foot soldier, like in a war. There
Yeah,
were. There was like white demons and like green demons that were like super weak. They're
they were
just not used.
focusing too much on the Greys and the Reds and the Albions.
Those were the only ones that I saw.
I saw some of the others, like the weird koala one and the birds.
At least in the anime, it was only those three.
Hmm.
Yeah.
The mangas, I think, had a little bit. You are right, though. They did
Well,
focus mainly on the Reds and the Greys.
Well, at this point in the anime, this is where like the animation is complete shit. So
Ah,
all of like the Holy Knights are like just
the same.
basically copy pasted and then all and you could actually see like some frames like the Albions are literally copy pasted to create a big like army. It's yeah. It like it's this you could see it's the same one just copy and pasted like a couple inches over.
That's
So
awesome.
so yeah.
That's great.
Um
Uh, but yeah, so they're everybody's throwing down, and the we got some of the sins there too. Deanne does perform her newest move, Queen's Embrace, where she's riding on a giant earth wave, and like, yes,
yeah, that should have
yes,
probably wiped out their entire army, but I don't think it did, so
it took out a good number of
yeah,
them.
it was cool though.
It was pretty dang cool.
Deanne
I
is the
enjoyed it.
coolest.
Yes, but she's also a girl.
Oh yeah. And she also likes to die a lot.
That's
Cringe.
true. Ah, dang, we should have had more Deanne death in this arc, but she wasn't around enough for it.
Too bad.
Bad. Where did dying Diane come from again?
Oh yeah, also, with Dying Diane, I think it was like the Kingdom infiltration arc when she was
Oh, right.
like,
She,
yeah,
she was just fucked up for the entirety of the arc.
yeah, yeah. And then I literally did not stop talking about it for like 2 episodes.
Good time.
Anyways, so like the Archangels, they're there. They use
Hmm.
Omega Arc, which, if you'll recall from like the flashback times, that was the thing that they used to kill like a fuck ton of demons, and like it killed
Right.
Dariari's sister. Um,
Right.
I would at the time I was under the impression that that was like not something that they could do like at will. I thought it was like a weapon of mass destruction kind of ability that like took time to prepare. So like when I just saw them just using it a
Bust it
lot, it
out.
was well they used like several of them at once.
Huh.
Yeah. And so I was like, okay, interesting.
You thought that it needed some kind of like setup.
Yeah, I thought that's kind of like what it was built up to be at what was the arc called again? I don't even remember. I don't
Uh,
remember
the
anything.
the 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 3,000 years ago arc. The, fuck.
Memories of Holy War. That was it.
That was it. That was it.
Yeah, and that it was kind of like built up this was
Like a trump card.
like a trump card. Yeah, because they busted it out and then Elizabeth like freaked out because they literally killed like thousands of
Oh,
demons in one swoop, and
right.
Elizabeth was like, "What the hell, dude?" Yeah.
The fuck was that?
Come on.
Yeah,
They
I get
were
what you're
all
saying.
living creatures. We're all on this in this world together.
Come on, can't we come together and sing the Kumbaya?
Truly.
Truly, truly. Um, what comes next? Is the next part the bit with Esterosa?
The next part is the bit. Well, yeah, with Derriere and Monspeed, and then Esther also shows up.
Derry and Monspeed out there living their best life. It's really touching to see
Yep.
how they've become so acclimated to peace,
They
and
became
that makes it
mates.
yeah, and it makes it all the sadder when it just kind of gets ripped away
Yeah,
from them.
truly.
I really wanted good things for these two, really truly.
Oh my God. Definitely.
But Esterosa just had to roll up, fuck everything up.
You're like, yo, bro, you got
Yeah,
my
you got the
commandments?
stuff.
You...
You got the stuff. Oh, we get to see Monspeet's unique magic this time around. Previously, all we saw was his Hellblaze
Hellblaze,
stuff,
yeah.
but that's just like generic demon stuff. Anybody can learn
Well,
that.
he's especially
Meliodas is
good at it.
yeah, he's especially good at it. But like we see his like special, unique magic, Trickster, and
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
It's
I
the
enjoy it.
substitution jutsu.
It's what that guy can that one guy from the boring arc of My Hero Academia, which is all of them. The boring Yakuza people.
Uh,
Didn't a guy have that power?
I
Like Swit
I don't
or maybe
remember.
did one of the Phantom Troop had that power?
It doesn't ring a
No,
bell from
that's
MHA.
no, that's I'm thinking of something else. I'm thinking of Cortopi's ability. That's different. Anyway, I just like Monspeet's power. It reminds me of a stand.
Yes, it definitely
This whole
does.
this whole exchange reminds me of a stand battle or just a general JoJo battle because it's so down to earth and it's so like focused on the minutia of it. Like this whole thing is focused around one chokehold essentially, and that feels very JoJo-esque.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like I really love the chokehold switch with Trickster. I love that swerve. I dug that so hard. And like the art is really helping along this whole exchange because you really see how like scrunched up the choke ease face is. It's very effective.
Mm-hmm.
Just this whole exchange and the emotions are running so high, like everything's kind of happening in slow mo for the characters. The whole exchange was just so engaging and fun to read, and part of that was just kind of how down to earth and brutal it was. There's no big
Yeah,
explosions. It's
because
just
it kind of
choking.
just like starts out with like Derriere and Monspeed are just they just want to live their lives like they're coming to like they're just trying to throw in the towel basically and like
Yeah,
have a peaceful life, and then all of a sudden like literally like it's directly interrupted, like the girl that was helping them is immediately like fucking murdered by Esterosa, and then all of a sudden the stakes are just so high
yeah.
just
And
out
like
of nowhere.
the first real like part of this fight is them trying to keep Esterosa from eating that girl's soul so they can kind of just release it and let it go off to the afterlife
Yeah.
peacefully. And that's just a perfect start to this whole fight
Yeah.
because it's so like even though it's fantastical, it's so down to earth and it feels the
Hmm.
emotions feel real.
It's already because like it's already escalated to the point where like now their goal isn't like to save her because she's already dead. They just want her to like her soul to be able to go to the
Live peace.
afterlife instead of being eaten.
Yeah. And then then it comes down to the final tragic swerve of it, where Esterosa is about to run Derriere through with his fist. Not in that way. And Mounspeed has to use his trickster ability to save her, and it's very, very
Hmm.
sad. Yeah, he loved her so dang much. One of the only real romances that I'm fully 100% invested in this series.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, Esteros is able to kill Monspeet and get both of their commandments and get away with them. And he heads on. He's heading over towards the Holy War with I think 4 commandments with him.
Yeah, he has four commandments, and he like he flings like well, I guess it was Mossbeat that actually flung Derriere like way off into the
Oh yeah,
distance,
yeah.
and then she like lands in the fucking battlefield where everyone else is.
Oh yeah.
That was
That was pretty cool to see.
yeah. Well, because I really wanted to like see how these characters would like interact and like because I knew that Derriere was probably just gonna like end up joining their forces somehow because that's
Yeah.
just like a big thing in this arc where like everybody's like side gets like fucked. Like
Mm.
people are like joining forces and like and
Yeah.
stuff. It's just weird. Like
Thing
I don't know. It's so hard to tell like who's on what side at what point. And
allegiances get swapped a lot based like solely around the emotions of the characters, and that's
hmm
very it keeps things interesting. It may
yeah,
be a bit hard to follow at times, but it keeps things interesting.
yeah. So it was interesting to see like Derriere just like showing up out of nowhere and like having like all the nameless characters like instantly react like
Yeah, because
trying
he's
to
a
kill
commandment.
her and then but like Elizabeth trying to not kill her
Yeah.
basically because
Come on,
at
peace,
this point
guys.
they've I feel like they've pretty much like at least like the primary characters have kind of like internalized that the commandments aren't like inherently bad. It's just like things are
They're
just
just the
fucked.
opposing side.
It's just fucked right now. Everything is
Yeah.
fucked.
Yeah, they know that the commandments, the ones that are left, are pretty scattered and stuff.
Yeah.
Speaking of Elizabeth, though, Elizabeth trying to persuade the demons not to fight it's perfectly in character, but we're told she was doing that during the battle as an afterthought. There's really no indication she was doing that when the fighting was actually going on.
Uh,
That so
yeah.
it didn't really land for me. It was just sort of like a oh
Just like,
okay
oh, I
okay
guess that makes sense she would do that, but
yeah
okay.
her her healing everybody throughout is more impactful since we saw the characters during the battle thinking that it was Ludocio's doing.
Mm-hmm.
That was good.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and her interactions with Derriere are also great and very characterizing for Elizabeth too. Derriere coming to Elizabeth is another great testament to all of that Elizabeth's been doing even back to 3,000
Yeah,
years ago, and how
everything
much
has
of
like
an
come together.
effect how much of an effect she's had on everybody, and the way they bond right away is really sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Derriere just coming there scared and confused, and Elizabeth's trying her best to comfort her, and it's really nice. It's really nice seeing these two finally like interact in a way that's not antagonistic on one side.
Yeah.
And I think that's when Esterosa rolls up.
Oh, just showing up.
Yeah. He's following. I don't think he had Derriere's commandment. He was
Oh
chasing
yeah,
her to
he
get
didn't.
that.
Yeah, he didn't have it yet. So,
Yeah.
um, well, he gets it.
Yep. Yep. Uh, about Esterosa though, now that he's like he's emoting more, and his own goals are sort of laid out for us. Esteros has become a lot more engaging, and I
Yeah,
feel that's especially prevalent in his fight pretty soon with Sariel and Tarmiel, because those two, at least at this point, really aren't that interesting. So Esterosa really just kind of carries that battle on his shoulders. Like I
yeah,
was,
pretty much.
if he wasn't, if it was just those two against somebody we didn't really know that well, like Cusack, then that fight would have been totally boring. But I was just enthralled by Esterosa during that fight
Yeah,
because I was wondering like, what's he gonna do next? He was a real wild card.
I feel like that was like a it's like a pretty big deal with like the commandments in general, where like when they were first introduced, I wasn't really too invested in them because they were all just like, excuse me.
There,
It was just a new group of bad guys, and they were all kind of like united, and like we didn't like it. Just felt like they were all there just to like follow orders.
they were there to be villains,
Yeah,
essentially.
and that, but like over time, like you see, they all have like their own goals and everything that are separate,
Mm.
and seeing them like kind of become
Go
less
their own,
go their own way, become less of like a monolith as a group, and become their own characters is very cool to see.
yeah, yeah. I was interested in the commandments right off the bat, if you'll remember, but that had to do like with
They are
their
very
designs
imposing.
and stuff. Their designs are very imposing, but it was more about like their potential. I knew that some of them would like
Hmm.
carve out a niche for themselves in the story, and I was excited to see that and see where the others that I didn't know as
Yeah,
well would go because they just kind of oozed potential. And at this point, we're seeing a lot of that potential come to the forefront
yeah.
through
They
characters like Esterosa, Zeldris, Derriere. We've seen that with characters like
Mon Speed.
Melascula, Monspeet. It's all been very
Yeah,
interesting.
like because they've been around for so long in the story at this point, so now we're finally really seeing to see like what they can bring to the table. But like for
Yeah.
other ones that were like kind of taken out of the story earlier, like Galland, like I don't give a shit about Galland. I don't care
Yeah.
about Grey Road. What was Grey Road anyways? I don't even
Some
know.
she was some sort of weird mask womb.
Yeah.
She was Aranero from Bleach,
Yeah,
essentially.
basically. Yeah, the first spot to be taken out, like nobody gives a shit.
Yeah,
Like,
that's fair. At least they had interesting designs, I'd say.
yeah.
Like you may not remember much about Grey Road's like
Oh
personality,
yeah,
but
Grey Road
yeah,
yeah, definitely. Definitely interesting like
yeah.
design-wise.
Now the ones that maybe seemed a little bit more plain near the start, those ones are really coming to the forefront now in terms of like characterization and stuff, and it's all good.
Yep.
But yeah, Esterosa shows up. He's searching out for the commandments, and he's also kind of going crazy.
Yeah. I think Monspeet said something earlier about how he's not supposed to have more than one commandment because he will literally go crazy. And as we see, he literally goes crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of the artwork in the manga really sells the mental degeneration that Esteros is going. I'll send a couple screenshots I remember taking.
Okay.
But yeah, the manga is just really good at selling his craziness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could definitely see it.
Uh, and he just kind of goes around killing people and stuff for trying to kill him, you know. Uh, and eventually Elizabeth has to say, like, no, stop. Whatever you're here for me, okay, let's go somewhere. Because he's been kind of obsessing over Elizabeth, if you'll recall, for reasons
Have
unknown, I think.
have we gotten that yet? I don't think I don't remember.
I forget. I just sent the
It's
three screenshots I took earlier in the
oh
screen
yeah. Oh
caps.
yeah, definitely. You could totally see it. I feel like earlier on we got like a little bit of a glimpse into his memories where we see like him out in the field and Elizabeth comes up and like tells him
Right, right. That
stuff.
was it.
We saw like that, so like we that was kind of like what we knew at the time, so it kind of like guided us to like understand that like he has this growing attachment to Elizabeth
Mm,
that must
mm.
have like shaped him from a young age. And so that's why he's
Yes,
so like being
and
being
he's
so
kind of
weird right now.
it's strong enough that even while that when his mind is deteriorating, he's latching on to that like familiarity. Like, oh, being around Elizabeth makes me feel good. I'm gonna go be around Elizabeth. Fuck y'alls.
Basically, yeah.
It's pretty character rich. I enjoy that. I enjoy Esterosa in this whole section. That's the that's my main point of takeaway here. uh, Sariel and Tarmiel, they fought him and they used the full breadth of their graces, which is ocean and wind,
Tornado.
tornado. That was it.
Ocean and tornado. Which
And
okay, well, so like okay, so let's talk about like the graces because like
oh yeah,
the commandments were all these like really unique like stand like powers
yeah,
that
all
were
these real
super cool.
cool esoteric powers, but these are just elemental powers that
Yeah.
most everybody else has. Like, oh, you have wind powers. So does uh, somebody else had wind
Hauser.
powers.
Hauser has
Hauser,
wind
yeah.
powers.
More specifically, he has tornado powers.
Yes, literally tornado powers.
You Flash, you have lightning powers. Hey, that guy right next to you does too.
Yeah, and well, sunshine is yeah, sunshine is sunshine, so we know how that goes.
Yeah,
But yes, they're not very original compared to
yeah.
like the
I,
commandments.
I get the idea that they're supposed to be like forces of nature, so like the sun in the sky, the
Yeah,
ocean, the air around you, light.
I guess it's
But
also because they're supposed to be stronger than the commandments, so like it's a much easier way to like imagine like to showcase that it's strength incarnate. So like it's a lot easier to picture it being stronger
yeah,
because it's a
it's easy
physical.
to it's easier to get the might of the sun as being like this super strong thing compared to like, oh, if you
If if you lie to me, you turn to stone.
yeah, like it's powerful, but like if you see something like that's able to destroy a mountain or stuff, your monkey brain goes, oh, big, strong.
Oh my God. Look at look at the muscles on that man. He must be strong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's shown in a nutshell. I think our job is done here.
Okay. Anyways, so
They
they
fought a
they
bit
beat
and they got their asses kicked.
what? No, Esterosa got his ass kicked, right?
Did he? I thought they di- I,
No.
they
Well, they did it.
also
Yeah. So they beat his ass at first, and then they come back like, yeah, we just beat Esterosa, and then he just appears behind them, and yeah,
right. And by this point, Esteros is starting to think that he is Meliodas, like literally.
yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm Meliodas now.
Yeah. A-
Yeah,
And my from a writing perspective, I can appreciate Esteros's mind descending into him thinking he's Meliodas.
yeah,
He wanted to be Elizabeth's lover like him, to be strong like Meliodas, and like every idealized version of Meliodas, like on Meliodas's wanted poster, looks like Esterosa. And it also keeps Esterosa here from just being some random crazy guy in terms of personality. Now that like by giving his broken mind sort of this anchoring
yeah.
point while still putting out the crazy vibes. But my own personal bias just makes me not like this as much. since I don't like how many people love Meliodas and Elizabeth in story. And I think there could have been much more interesting avenues to take Esteros' mental degeneration at this point.
Mm, I don't know. I thought it was cool. I just liked it.
Yeah, I
I
think it's I think it's good, but me personally, I think I
hmm
would have preferred something else.
I could see that. But like it is pretty cool because early on, like when we first see the commandments, like you instantly see Esterosa. You're like, yeah, that's Meliodas but adult.
Yeah, you're like that looks like the wanted poster.
Yeah, basically. Like so you've always kind of been like wondering what the deal is with him
Mm.
because it's always kind of felt a little bit disconnected like from the beginning like
Right,
Estarosa being Meliodas's younger brother but also
right,
being big and like he seems to not be mentioned as Meliodas's brother as much as Zeldris is.
right. Meliodas talks to Zeldris mostly. He's like at the end of the vampires mini series, which at the end it reveals that like the Meliodas is their brother. Like he only mentions Zeldris as like, I'm sorry, you have a
Yeah.
big brother like me. He
Yeah.
doesn't mention Esterosa.
And even
So
later like in the purgatory part like Meliodas is like, "Yeah, I have two brothers," and then he goes on to talk at length about Zeldris only.
yeah, there's always been this disconnect regarding
Mhm.
Esterosa, but in the end, that was on purpose.
Yep.
Very interesting. Um, I think this is around the time that we cut back to the kingdom for a sec. Or does Esterosa take Elizabeth and Bolt for now?
I don't know. I'm trying to catch up in the manga real quick. Yeah, he takes Elizabeth first.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, they run off, and that's when that's
Okay, and then we go back to the kingdom to Leonis, where
then we go back to the past.
yeah, well not
Uh,
yes.
yeah,
So they go back to so in Leonis, I
demons are fighting.
we talked about it a little bit earlier. There were like four
Yeah.
gates. There was like a north, the south, east, and west gate.
Hmm.
And Hendrickson and not Hendrick, Dravis and Griamore and Jericho and someone else each took a gate. Who the fuck was the other person?
Uh, no, not Vivian.
I think
Uh,
originally it was Gil Thunder before Gil Thunder was like, yeah, I'm gonna go somewhere.
I don't know. Whoever it was, I don't think they're
Yeah, I don't
around.
care.
They show up.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Jericho's
So
apparently like clearing house. She's just wrecking everything.
good for her.
So, okay. Jericho has
Good
been a
job.
weird character this whole
Yeah,
fucking series.
yeah. Good time using those ice powers that you got your own mini chapter revealing that you have. I love that
Yeah.
part where you
Used
have we
them.
ever seen her? Yeah. I love that part where you use them.
Well, she does in this one single panel.
Good
But
job.
yeah, it was Slater actually. I'm looking
Oh,
at
he's
it.
Slater,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wait, who else is that with him?
Oh, it's
Who the fuck?
the
Uh,
other surviving member of the Dawn Roar, the long blue-haired guy with the samurai-looking armor.
he's from the Dawn Roar?
Yeah,
Oh. I was mixing up the Dawn Roar with the Pleiades.
right. All
Yeah.
right, that's fair. But yeah, the main meat here is Dreyfus. He sees Griamore is in trouble. Of course, Griamore can't even wipe his ass without help. And he's running over and he looks like he's not going to make it. But then in a very cool perspective shot, he like reaches out and he crushes the demon attacking Griamore and takes hold of Griamore. And then, turn the page. Dreyfus has become huge.
He's a giant for some
And
reason.
yeah,
Not well, yeah, for a reason.
we get the reason.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Apparently fucking uh
Fraudrin.
Fraudrin, that's it.
Fraudrin left behind full size for Dreyfus, apparently to be unlocked, like if he needed to protect Griamore with it.
This was so fucking random and like unnecessary. We
It's here. This is my thought. This is my thought process on this whole section, and including the bonus chapter that comes with it. I like the implication of Fraudrin leaving behind full size for Dreyfus in case the time comes where he needs to protect Griamore, but he can't. That is in character with Fraudrin, and as we saw with Jericho, there is a way of like passing on your special ability. And I'm not gonna lie. This is probably the end for these characters. This is the last bit of their
yeah.
importance. But the bonus chapter of one of them, either Fraudrin or Dreyfus, maybe Greymoor, dreaming of like some idyllic life together, like this weird, like perfect life all together. That's a bit too much. Some things are better left unsaid in storytelling. I don't think we needed this bonus chapter to be like, oh, they wish they could have had some kind of like perfect life where they're together because they've grown fond in their own strange way of each other. Like we've been implied that's been implied, and like leaving behind full size for Dreyfus, I feel like that gives us the perfect little cap to that strange little relationship of theirs. I don't think we needed this bonus chapter. Even though I did kind of enjoy it, it feels like you're saying too much that could have been left up to interpretation. And
Yeah.
that's my 2 cents.
I just uh I just don't like Fraudrin at all. I don't like this whole storyline at all. So
I I really dug it, especially back in the I forget the arc name. The arc's name was defend
yeah,
the King of Defense arc.
whatever. Yeah,
I
one
dug
of the
it.
many arc names. But yes,
I I always dug it.
mhm.
It was up there with all the Gother stuff, with like my favorite strange little plot stuff.
It just feels like this little bit here was kind of unnecessary because we've already gone through like this whole little arc, I guess. Like we've already seen that Fraudrin like kind of grew like a human heart, and
Yeah,
this is just kind of like bringing it
it's
back. I don't
yeah,
know. It's just, I don't
it's a
I didn't
nice little
I
it's a
didn't
nice
care
little
for it.
cap,
So
even if it may have been unnecessary, and the bonus chapter definitely feels unnecessary. But it's just a quick thing.
yeah,
So if you don't like it, it's easily
yeah, it's whatever.
brushed
It's
aside.
like a quarter of a chapter.
Yeah. Back to the
Anyway,
important stuff.
yeah,
Back to the important stuff, like Sariel growing tits.
yeah. Sariel, damn, what's up?
Damn. Damn.
So
Hey,
Sariel, yeah,
hey, Sariel, Sariel. Damn.
damn.
Yeah, but apparently, what was the point of that again? It's like they expended too much power, and that forced the
Yeah,
body to grow.
why couldn't? Yeah, and then they were just like, I'm just gonna leave this body anyways
Yeah, they immediately leave their
because
bodies.
okay, so why didn't Ludociel also do that to save Margaret? Like,
Because he doesn't care about saving
no,
Margaret.
but like it, other people would have cared. So I don't know.
He doesn't care.
I don't know.
It
No,
it
I
makes
know
sense.
that he like wouldn't care, but like as a pure like utilitarian act to get other people to like listen to
Because
him
it
more or something. I don't know.
because it puts them on a timetable. They need to have
Oh, I
some sort
guess.
of like host body, because they'll end up like fading away otherwise.
Yeah.
That's why they were stuck in items.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So as we were saying, Sariel and Tarmiel, they're gonna they're gonna leave their hosts, and it's a sweet gesture that that they like respect their host bodies and are willingly leaving them to like either protect them in Sariel's
Yeah,
case or in Termiel's case to respect the body.
because they're
Uh,
like they have like human hearts. They're not.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's their first real like positive characterization
yeah.
so far.
They're
Like
not
the very
Ludociel.
yeah. I don't know what the transformation's point was beyond getting some tit action, but there you go.
I think it was just to showcase that this one character was actually female all along, and the author like made this character like this, and didn't know how to like portray that it was actually a female, other than this.
Yeah, maybe I'll be a little like uh, give them the benefit of doubt, and maybe I'll it's like foreshadowing or set up for Meliadas's body changing when he gets taken over by the Demon Lord. But
I don't. Nah,
that's me
nah.
being nice.
Yeah, that's a
That's me.
stretch.
I'm giving the author a gift wrapped present here. Like, oh yes, this is good
Yeah,
writing.
it's like a completely unrelated instance of that happening. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
But yeah, they leave their bodies to chase after Esterosa and save Elizabeth. King's getting readying up to do go along with them since he can fly and stuff. And Derrieri's coming too
yeah.
because she wants to save Elizabeth. It helps. This little Forple helps chunk up the cast and like helps build
I like
interesting
it
team ups and matchups. I like it too.
because I
It's it's
like at this
it's
point.
not just the
Yeah,
same groups we always get.
at this point, I'm like actually really interested in these characters because like I really want to. I want more with Derriere at this point. She's
Mm,
really cool. Like I like her interactions with Elizabeth right now. And
yeah,
Elizabeth obviously is important to this. And King is like one of my favorite characters. And then Sariel and Tarmiel, like they're
they're
actually like starting to look like they're not pieces of shit.
yeah. We're finally starting to like get attached to them, and now that we've like seen their humanity, so to speak, we're getting a little bit more open to them,
Mm-hmm.
especially seeing like someone like King trust them.
Yep.
It's good, and Gother and Hawk are going to tag along too, as we see. I think at the end of this chapter, or maybe a little bit later chapter.
Yeah,
But
the time was a time like was a little bit fucked with in the anime because they showed like Gother was chasing at the end or something. I don't even remember. It was it was weirdly done.
they're going to show up later too. They're around too,
Yeah.
and I like that they're around too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's when we switch over to Purgatory.
Yeah, I believe so. Um, maybe.
My next note's about Purgatory, so I'll just say, yeah, we're heading over to Purgatory, baby. And yeah, the opening to this first chapter in Purgatory with Bond is awesome. I love this fox demon design he's
Oh
got
yeah.
when he's close to giving in to how things go here. I love that he's hearing the song that he used to sing when he was trying to get the Fountain of Youth as like this sanity mantra to help him get back to his normal self. And when he does go back to his normal self, we see do you remember when he was gotten out of boss
Uh-huh.
dungeon and he had that beard and the long hair? This is like 5 times what that was.
Yeah,
And
cause that at that
it
time he was like in prison for like 10 years and now
yeah,
he's you know, just been in purgatory for 500 years.
yeah. His crazy hair and the way of that he's speaking once he turns back to his normal self, all like panting like, oh shit, almost gave in there. Fuck, where the hell am I?
Just
It's
makes you think like how close
it's
was he
very
really?
yeah, it's very good at selling just how long he's been there.
Mm-hmm.
And the artwork just really sells how huge and how nasty this place is. There's like this full page or maybe half page panel of Bond falling off a cliff, and he's literally just a dot next to the cliff that you can just see from his trailing.
Uh-huh.
Ah! It's great. I love the whole. I love everything about story in Purgatory. It's just great.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And you know
Anything?
why? You know
Why?
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 I think
Because
I told
Bond
you
is here.
this. Yes. Well, yeah. But I think I mentioned this yesterday to you when we were talking about it. The setting, like the normal setting, the characters have always felt too big for the setting. Nothing really gave them any trouble. No animals, no um, strange places, nothing that they can just run across randomly would really give them trouble aside from like singular examples like that mushroom in the Fight Festival arc. But here, the 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 setting of Purgatory is on level and even beyond what the characters can really deal with.
Yeah.
So we're finally seeing we're seeing a setting that's on level with them and seeing them actually struggle. They struggle trying to chase the wildlife. They struggle to survive. They have to like make clothes and weapons and stuff. They got to find like it's survival, and they've really had never had to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
And we spend time learning about this place, learning its rules, learning its geography, kind of learning the wildlife. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
I dig it.
So we also get so after you were just mentioning that part where Bond was like falling off a cliff, all of a sudden another so he was like transformed as like one of the residents, which was like a monster thing. I forget what they're called. Or maybe they're just called residents of Purgatory. He was transformed into one of those and then he managed to like come back and back
Yeah,
into
he
his
like
human form. Yeah.
willed himself back to it when he like remembered
Yeah.
the Fountain of Youth song.
Yeah, so another one of these residents appears and he has to fight it. And there's a cool callback to back when we first got introduced to Bond, back when he had the long hair. And he fought Jericho and Jericho like literally cut his he base Jericho like gave him a haircut basically, like a
Yeah,
perfect haircut. And we get the same thing here where Bond just he gets a perfect haircut from an explosion. Like his hair is cut like exactly perfectly to look how it was before. He has no beard,
yeah.
completely clean shaven. It's just very very comical, I guess.
That's really
Very
fun.
good.
Uh, Another callback. I'd say it's a callback. Is that this thing that attacked Bond and fell on him? I think it's the thing that was actually Meliodas. Meliodas kind
Yep.
of gave in his emotions. He was like this quadrupedal dragon thing,
Yep.
and the head of it looked a lot like the key to the Coffin of Eternal Darkness, the broken sword
Oh.
that Meliodas had at the start of the series.
Yeah, it does.
That's very nice. Nice little early hint at what that is.
Pretty cool. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
so he turned into a dragon and Fox Bond turned into a fox.
Yep.
Cool.
Pretty great. So yeah, Bond has after 500 years in purgatory, Bond has found Meliodas, and the
Yeah.
next chapter, Meliodas wakes up, and it's been so long since we saw normal Meliodas. It's been since like the start of the Conrad arc that we've had like the normal Meliodas, and I actually kind of missed him. So it's
Yeah,
great to have him
he's been
back.
absent for so long and like and he even like now like this is just his emotions, so he's like still physically absent from the series until like at the end of this section.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
His reunion with Bond is really sweet.
Uh-huh.
Meliodas is just so glad to have a familiar face that he just breaks down immediately.
Yeah, unlike we've already had like a couple of their reunions where like every time they're reunited, they like immediately start like beating the shit out of each other and like just
Yeah, and like
destroying the
arm
entire
wrestling and shit.
landscape. But here
None
they
of
like
that. Yeah.
like it's just like an actual like real like emotional reunion, which is really
Yeah,
cool.
they Meliodas has needed this, and it's not like the last time where they can just joke around at start. Meliodas just breaks down immediately because he needed this,
Hmm.
and it's really nice. You know what I think part of it is, part of why I like this so much. I was expecting some sort of like, oh, the hero badass is back, return from Meliodas, but no, it's just this very understated return, and he doesn't really have that sort of like, oh, the hero badass is back moment until like the very end. He's just kind of back, and the big payoff to that is having this emotional moment with Bon.
Hmm.
Yeah. And so yeah, they start adventuring through purgatory.
As a team,
Yeah.
even though it's so Meliodas, this is Meliodas' emotions, so he like didn't have his powers or something, but then like later on he did for
Well,
some reason.
it's like this. It's here he's just Meliodas' emotions. So he can survive in purgatory, but he doesn't have his magic, he doesn't have his demon powers, he doesn't have most of his strength. They've just for now the adventuring in purgatory is Meliodas. He doesn't have his powers, but he knows what's what. So he's the brains essentially, and leaving Bon as the muscle as they go around this whole new place for us to explore and learn about. We learn about the environment, which can give the heroes the challenge. Naturally, they struggle against the native beasts instead of just trouncing everything, which is far more interesting than them just like, oh, we're
Hmm.
too strong for this place. And
Yeah.
eventually they do acclimate, but it takes them half a century.
Well, Bond
But
acclimates.
on acclimate as in like it takes them like 500 years until they can easily kill the wildlife.
Oh yeah, I suppose.
But yeah, like I was trying to like, say, like they spent 500 years just kind of like getting the lay of the land, making clothes, making weapons, until the point where they can fight the enemies. Meliodas was essentially training this whole time, trying to keep up with Bon. He's rebuilding his strength from the ground up as his emotional self.
Is that really how it works?
Yeah, yeah. He
Like
spent
he,
like 500. He spent 500 years with Bon hunting and surviving and stuff
but he's emotions. How does he have his powers? I don't.
because he's got a physical form in purgatory.
I don't know.
It makes sense.
It seems weird to me.
Makes sense to me.
Okay.
All
I
right,
guess we'll
yeah.
have to just leave it at that because I don't know how to like parse this.
Speaking of training, Bon is essentially like level grinding in purgatory, and it's a great way of
Yeah.
having him play catch up for the rest of the
Well,
cast
cause
since he's been
yeah,
like noticeably behind for the
he's
past
been
few arcs.
so behind because like he's always had like the very human limitations. Like basically, he hasn't had any like real like overpowered abilities that like can actually make a difference in a fight because
Yeah,
he's
he's
immortal.
immortal. He's immortal, so his power is just basically surviving.
Yeah,
Like
so
that's
he
not going
doesn't
to help
have
him
any like
level a mountain like King can.
yeah. Like he has snatch which is cool, but it can only get him so far.
Same with physical hunt.
And so the natural answer to this is to just level grind for 1,000 years.
Yeah, and it's in a way that really only he can. Him
Yeah.
and Meliodas, essentially.
Yeah.
But I dig it. And that's not the only party goer in hell we've got. We got a new character,
Oh, you mean that thing?
the best character. Yes,
Wild.
Wild baby.
Wild. Yeah.
I
Uh
love Wild. I loved Wild immediately.
yeah, Wild's pretty cool.
It's a real he's a real breath of fresh air, and it helps answer a lot of questions about Hawk. And for that, I dig it.
Yeah, Hawk's been around for so long. I remember like at the very beginning of the series, I think I don't remember someone like asked Hawk like what the hell are you? And he's like, I don't know. Well, now we
uh,
know.
Pig? Question mark? Yeah. So yeah, Wild is Hawk's big brother, and he's trying to find his brother Hawk, or Mild as he knows him. I like that. I like the little wordplay, Wild and Mild.
Yeah.
And that leads us naturally into some exposition on Meliodas' own little brother Zeldris. Uh, but here's the thing: we go back to Wild's place. He's got a home that looks like himself. I dig that. And Meliodas starts talking about Zeldris, but Zeldris isn't active in the story right now, so this really just feels like a history check, not something I can really connect with right here and now. Like we're getting information on it, but it feels more like, oh, okay, then
Yeah.
now I get it. What will he do now?
I feel like
Because
in the anime this was a little bit better because
why is that?
it was kind of like intercut like with the stuff that was going on in Camelot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. That's exactly what it needed. We needed
Yeah.
Zeldris to be active in the moment this is happening because we need to say, oh, that's why Zeldris is the way he is. And now we can go back to him, and now we're seeing him in a new light and wondering what's he going to do now.
Mhm.
And yeah, it also doesn't help that at the moment this is happening in the manga, his alignment feels kind of shaky. Like, we don't know what Meliodas said to him yet that made Zeldris work for him. We don't know if he's still gonna be following Meliodas, if Meliodas's emotions get back to his body, all that stuff. So yeah, it seems like the anime made this work a lot better.
Yeah, definitely did. But yeah,
And
it's kind of revealed that Zeldris had this relationship with Gelda, who was like at the time a fucking random character
yep,
uh who appeared back in the thing.
the the Vampires of Edinburgh side
Yeah,
story,
a
which
side
like,
story.
yeah, good job not adapting that anime, and good job not including it in the actual volumes manga.
Yeah. So at this
Kind of
point it's just
important.
a brand new character basically.
For anime goers, especially, yeah.
Yeah.
Who is this? Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it was
Yeah.
I already had the knowledge that Gelda was important like from the
Yeah.
beginning, so
Same here.
and like what the deal was. So it was a little anticlimactic for me, but I could see how it would be pretty cool, like a cool twist for people that like had
Yeah.
actually read Vampires of Edinburgh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Just
So, yeah.
because I we did have Orlandi come back
Yeah.
as the floating eyeball.
Merlin's little homie.
Yeah. So it's cool to see that at least the side stories have some kind of impact on the
That's
story.
pretty cool. So yeah, we continue on with the Purgatory. Meliodas and Bon are training up, level grinding, and eventually, after about 1,000 years, they come
Five
across the
five
Demon
hundred
King.
500 years, so it's 1,000 years in total that they were in purgatory.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, they run across the Demon King again. And I don't know if I mentioned it last time we saw him, but I really do love the Demon King's design. It's
Yeah,
grand and suitably intimidating, but not overly edgy.
he looks like freaking like Odin or something.
Yeah,
Pretty
I
cool.
dig it. And I think that's where they leave Purgatory for now and head back to the land of the living.
Well, yeah. So they actually spend like I think don't they spend like the whole 500 years just fighting the Demon King?
Was that it?
Or at least it was like they spent like a very long time fighting the Demon
Yeah,
King, like over and over, coming back and fighting him.
yeah. It takes them a while, but I think that's covered
Yeah.
later in the
And so
manga.
like over the course of like this So Bon like tried to use
That's
what was it?
yeah. He
Greed.
tried using physical hunt, but it ended up like not working. But that's later. They
We don't.
cover that
Oh,
later
we
in
don't.
the
We don't see
manga.
that at this point at all.
No, I think that's covered later.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah. So now we go back to
yeah, it's later. Now I go back to
Gother.
Esterosa.
Yeah. Uh. Yeah. So we actually see Gother's little backstory. We figure out you know how the Holy War was actually ended. Wait, do we?
That's in a little bit.
Okay, it's split up. I see. That's right.
Yeah, yeah. It's we start fighting Esterosa again, and well, actually, it's a little bit later. For now, he's just hanging out with Elizabeth, and I really dig the building mystery with Esterosa and like tying the answer back into the standing question of how the original Gotha ended the Holy War. We're just kind of learning more about Esterosa, but as we learn about him, we keep getting more and more questions.
Yeah, things are like
All of the
not
setup,
adding up.
the Demon King, like I think beforehand, asked Meliodas, like, "Do you have any memories of Esterosa?" And
Mm-hmm.
Meliodas is like, "He was a coward that couldn't hurt a fly. You gave him a commandment, and that's about it." And Demon
Yeah,
King's like, "Okay, that's about what I remember, but I remember nothing else." So we keep getting these
yeah.
like
Well, that's
questions
it.
about him.
Directly leads into this, like where Gother, Gother is talking about Esterosa, and then like we see like other characters are starting to have doubts about Esterosa as well. They're like things aren't adding up in their minds about him.
Yeah, like they can't really remember, and they can't really remember Male either. Although I think that's a little bit later.
Yeah.
But Esteros is just kind of chilling at this. I think it's called the Sky Theater or something.
Yep. This is also the place where Ludociel first appeared, like as transforming into Margaret. No, wait, no. This is where
Vivian
fuck.
took
Oh yeah,
Gilthunder.
this is where Vivian took Gilthunder, and then yeah, Ludociel like showed up as Margaret and
Vivian's
killed her.
corpse is just in the corner for the whole fight.
Yeah. I, s-
uh,
I don't think like she actually died.
no, she's not. But
Yeah.
it'd be funny if her corpse was just kind of there and nobody was mentioning it. Uh, Esteros is like he's absorbed the four commandments he's got, and he's kind of going berserk. And I
Mm-hmm.
really like the visual callback of Esterosa sticking half, like top half, out of this berserk giant form, just like the new generation when their
Oh
powers went
yeah.
wild. It's a very fun little callback of demon powers going crazy,
It's cool.
and yeah, they're everybody. The 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 rescue party show up, but they're still kind of like having these weird thoughts, like, why can't we remember anything about Esterosa? Why can't we remember anything about Male either? And the reveal really starts with Esterosa recalling like the memory he had of Elizabeth finding this puppy, and earlier we had that memory, and it ends with him thinking to himself like, "What did she name that puppy again?" And then we get the reveal here that she called it Esterosa,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where he got this name. So it's like, wait, so what's his real name? And it turns out it's Male.
Mm-hmm. And then there's also a
Here,
little memory of Elizabeth talking to Meliodas, and Meliodas saying that Zeldris is his only brother,
right, right, that was
which,
there too.
mm-hmm. Yeah, so it kind of like the memory is kind of like slowly like
They're
transition
dribbling
to
in.
becoming more and more accurate to reality.
Once again, Gotha's powers make for great scenes, even when they're coming undone.
Yeah. Man, I just realized in the manga we literally haven't caught up with the assault team at all this entire time.
Yeah,
In the anime, it's like been
it's all
interspersed.
intercut.
Yeah, it's all intercut together. Like has like because obviously those things are happening at the same time as this. Like
Yeah,
it's not like nothing's
right,
happening right now.
right. In the manga, it's like we
It's cut
we
up weird.
literally finish all of the male stuff, and then we're like, here's we're going back in time a little bit. Here's what was happening with Team Merlin, and
Yeah.
that's literally like the start of it comes after male is dealt with.
Wait, after he's dealt. Oh my God. So that's a huge wait.
Yeah,
Imagine reading
it's
this weekly.
yeah. I
Uh,
I I I prefer how the manga does it because well, I'll get into my reasons when we get to the Zeldris section. But yeah, males here. Here's the mail. It never fails. It makes me want to wag my tail. When it comes to want to wail.
Mel.
Thank you,
Mel.
thank you.
Mel.
So yeah, he's here, and like I'm not really sure what my perception of male is supposed to be now that he's like going nuts. Like he's totally right to be angry about what happened to him and wanting some kind of
But
retribution.
he's also clearly insane, so.
Yeah, and now he's attacking King about it. So like I was totally on his side until he attacked King. It feels like he just attacked King so we know like, oh, okay, he's a bad guy. I'm supposed to not like him right now.
Yeah. Well, I kind of got that um from like the start. I don't know. Cause like Gother is like he originally starts by like attacking Gother because Gother is like the object of his revenge.
Yeah.
Um but like
And I thought
Gother's
like, yeah,
a good
he
guy.
kind of just yeah, Gothar's a good guy, but like Gothar's totally fine with doing it. Like and like S or male, it really feels like yeah, he deserves some kind of revenge for it.
Hmm.
Maybe I'm just like being too apologetic for him.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't know.
know. Yeah, but yeah, he starts attacking, and it turns out it's because the commandments he absorbed are corrupting him. That's cool.
Okay, cuz like
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's
Have
but yeah,
have commandments been like a corrupting ability in the past?
I mean for him, but
Oh,
then
I guess
again, he's an
specifically
angel.
for him because he's an angel, so that makes sense.
Yeah, I like the idea of this villain, this long-standing villain of this arc, being like this combination of the demon and goddess powers. It's interesting.
Yeah.
And it helps the idea that no one of these races are inherently wrong or right.
Yep. Definitely.
Yeah. And so yeah, they start throwing down. But male's pretty strong.
Well,
And
he's only got four commandments.
yeah. And yeah, the commandments. That's part of the strategy. Derriere is able to come up with this strategy of getting the commandments away from him. And it's a good plan. She's smacking down on him while he's getting ocean and tornado on both sides, and Gother's at the ready to stick into his mind and stuff. But yeah, it doesn't work.
Well, yeah, because
Uh,
Tarmiel fucking is like, yeah,
he,
brother,
he can't bring
brother.
an
Go on.
brother, my brother. Pokemon aren't meant to fight, not like this.
True.
Yeah, he can't put his all into it because you know he just got mail back. He doesn't want to hurt him,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, it costs us Derriere, R.I.P.
Yeah. Um,
I wanted her around
sad.
for
It
longer.
it was so like, yeah. I I I really did want her around for longer. So like she just kind of gets killed here, and it just doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like she really died. It just kind of feels like she disappeared to me. I don't
Mm.
know.
They don't really linger on it for too
Yeah,
long.
like this kind of sucks because I
Yeah,
was
it's
I yeah I was really like into Dairy Area at this point.
same. Oh well. At
But
least we get Diane back.
yeah, uh, Diane comes with Oslo.
Uh, Yeah, Oslo. No trouble getting her butt through his mouth this time around. Thanks, Oslo. Guess he trained that jaw muscle.
She's been doing Droll's dance a lot, so she's kind of thinned down, slimmed down a little bit.
That's fair.
Yeah, either that or Oslo's been practicing.
Yeah, he's been
You
working
know,
that jaw out.
yep, he definitely has.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Male Male gets his hand on Darrier's commandment, I think. I mean, whose commandments did he have? He had
He had his,
Gallons.
he had Gallons, and he had Monspeets, and then
Didn't
Derriere
he?
still had hers.
Didn't he have? Uh, didn't no.
No, he
Zeltris had Droll and Gloxinias on his
yeah,
own.
and also fucking oh wait,
Gray
no.
Road,
Grey Road was actually Meliodas had Grey Roads.
right?
Yeah, that accounts for all of them.
No wait, Fraudrin didn't have one.
Yeah. So
I,
Zeldris had Fraudrins. Well, what would have been Fraudrins if Fraudrin had one, because it was actually Gothers. Zeldris had Gothers and his own.
okay.
Yeah.
O'Male gets another commandment. He hits a transformation, and it looks dumb.
Uh, yeah, yeah. He did look kind of dumb. He didn't really look like a combination of like angel and demon powers. He just looked like an angel.
It looked like an angel with a weird, dumb headdress that hid his face.
Yeah. And also he like somehow lost the ability to speak.
Yeah, very, very cool. So interesting when you have a villain that can't emote because their face is covered and also doesn't speak.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
At least he's got some cool powers based around the commandments, but that's it's not really helpful. Is this
Yeah.
when Tarmiel and Sariel die?
Yeah. They like take a hit for everyone else or something. I think. I don't know. Because they just kind
Fare
of they just went out.
fare
That's
thee
it.
well, Archangels. You had minimal characterization, but it was serviceable.
Uh, I don't
Yeah,
know.
serviceable
They
may serviceable may be a bit
they had
nice.
like they had some potential and it
You
was
had
not used
potential.
at all.
Yep, yep. We had inklings of further characterization. Put that on their tombstone, their joint tombstone, because they weren't individualistic enough to warrant their own. They had inklings. Big into Splatoon. Uh,
True.
um, oh yeah, shout out to the fairy and giant races ending up being so inconsequential to the arc
Oh,
that the only checkup on them is through a chapter cover and during Oslo's death.
uh
Glad, glad you could be here, Matrona. So glad you came back from the dead. You're really accomplishing much.
yeah.
Oh yeah, Oslo dies. It's
Yeah.
sad. It's fairly. We've known Oslo for
Yeah.
a long time, and it's a dog. You gotta
Yeah,
like
and
them.
also Oslo is what's that guy's name?
Bro.
Ro. Yeah, it was Ro.
Yeah. or past Bond.
Yeah. Um,
So yeah,
cool, I guess.
Oslo takes the hit. Deanne is around. She's
Deanne?
being helpful.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, she does. She uses her fucking thing as a lightning rod, and
Oh yeah,
that was really
that was
cool.
awesome.
Because Gideon has been around for so long, and it's just been like this thing that she uses to make boulders and stuff. But now it has like a cool like other effect of
That
being a
makes
lightning
sense.
rod, and it makes sense,
Makes
and
sense.
it's pretty cool.
It is pretty dang cool, and it destroys the little island they were on.
Yeah, and they end
Uh,
up just free falling.
Good job. But that's when King gets starts thinking to himself like he's got to do something, and this is where he's finally starting to complete his story arc. He's finally coming into his own and completing his story arc, and he grows his wings out fully and gets a little bigger.
Yeah, it just so
His his new
I
hair looks dumb.
oh yeah, absolutely. So I'm like a huge fan of like the whole King like uh arc, I guess. It's
Hmm.
cool. It's just I really don't like that Gloxinia and Droll were just killed off earlier,
Yeah,
like for no reason.
yeah.
Like it,
Like we said in the past, that the last episode, it was just kind of to get them out of the way.
I
They had
f-
served their purpose, and the
yeah,
author was done with them.
I just don't like the placement of like where that happened and where this happened because like it felt kind to me like King and Diane were like completely like separate from this conflict, like completely disconnected. And so it would have made more sense for it to be like something that involved Gloxinia
Yeah,
and Droll.
yeah. You know what it should have been? Instead of having Sariel and Tarmiel around, they're instead of having them around, their roles should have been taken by Gloxinia and Droll.
Yeah, because they were also members of fucking
Stigma.
Stigma. Yeah, so like
Yeah, having them
th-
around would have like made the connection with the fairy and giant races much stronger, and they would have had like a better
mhm.
like go of things.
And
King's final transformation here would have come just after Gloxinian's death, and that would have been great.
yeah, like that would have made
But
a
it,
lot more sense to me.
yeah, but instead they just kind of got tossed out early, and they're
It's just another one
instead
of
of them, we got boring ass Sariel and Tarmiel.
yeah. It's just another one of those situations where King is just put into a difficult situation and he has to grow to overcome it, but it's like not
Right.
really related to his character growth like
Yeah.
inherently.
Like think about all of like the biggest steps he's taken. The you know, got all that stuff in the first saga, but then the first time he unlocked his true spirit spear was when the Fairy King's force was being attacked by the Albion.
Mhm.
He did it to save his people. And the first time he sprouted the wings was when he gained Gluxinia's approval and was able to like come to terms with
Yeah.
his feelings for Deanne. That was when his wings first sprouted. Here it's just like, oh no, we're going to die.
Yeah. Like
And
yeah.
it would have been much better if this was Gloxinia and Droll instead of just Sariel and Tarmiel.
I think I've said my piece.
Yeah, I think we're. It's still kind of neat. It's still neat
Oh, it's
seeing him
cool.
finally like finish his arc, even if he does have dumb hair now. And I like
It's cool
his
that it's
little
happening,
design. Yeah,
but
it's cool that it's
it could have
happening.
been better.
His wings look cool too.
Yeah.
Good job. And he's throwing down with Mail, holding his own, and
Oh yeah.
eventually,
Now
yeah.
he can use like multiple forms of the spirit spear at once.
Oh yeah,
It's
that's
fucking
pretty cool.
insane. Um but
Ch-
yeah.
Chastafol is huge now, like super huge.
Yeah, like King is just I don't King is just the goat. Like he's just been the best for a long time for me.
He's definitely up there. I find characters like Gother and Bond more interesting, but King is definitely above someone like Meliodas or Deanne.
What about Jericho?
No, Jericho is S tier,
Okay.
obviously.
That's what I was hoping you'd say.
Deanne gets put in D rank for dying.
True.
And yeah, that leads into Gother using his invasion spell again. All right.
Again, yeah.
No, here we go with another Gother deep dive.
Go
I like
yeah,
that.
go through. It's like, yeah. I feel like he just does the same thing every time. But yeah.
I always like seeing into characters' heads, so I
Oh
always
yeah.
like it when Gother does these kinds of things.
hmm Oh yeah, it's cool to see like inside them, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So we learn a bit more about Mael and how he was kind of like indoctrinated into thinking like, oh yeah, all demons are evil, all that kind of stuff, trying to live up to Ludociel, his actual big brother's expectations, and connecting Mael and his like his Im- connecting Mael to the indiscriminate killing like of demons, including OG Gother's lover Groliza. Once of him as the big, I feel a lot better in my head, knowing that he wasn't just some like innocent bystander. Essentially, he had his own problems,
Yeah.
similar to Ludociel, and like he specifically earned original Gother's ire. Gother wasn't just like eeny meeny miny male.
Yeah, and
It
it,
was
it
just
shows
like
that
okay,
like their actions don't have consequences. Like they're not like this like pure force of goodness.
yeah,
Like sure, like Mile had like this whole thing where he was trying to live up to his expectations and everything, but like at the cost of
yeah,
like
not
massacring demons who are
yeah,
people.
yeah. Cool dream, not an excuse for genocide.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad they didn't. They went in further into Mael's backstory and made him so like he's not just like this random innocent bystander. He actually got kind of had it coming in a sense. It was interesting.
Yeah, it just means everything is fucked. That's basically it.
Yeah, and I think that's what ends the whole Mael conflict, if I'm recalling correctly.
Yep. Yeah, that's it.
And
Yeah.
we're heading back to Purgatory.
Man, so it's really been bothering me this whole time that you're pronouncing his name as Male, because I'm pretty sure it's Mile,
Mile,
Mael,
Mael,
like like how it's Sariel and Tarmiel. It's Mael, not
M-
Male.
Ma-
M
so that
A E L, two
so that
syllables.
so that ends the Mael conflict.
There you go. That's how
And
you pronounce it. It's Male.
we're
Fucking
heading
dumbass. It's
back.
not pronounced Mile. It's Male.
Remember when I pronounced Gelder Gueldre?
Well, did you really?
Yeah, in like the first Black Clover episode, because I hadn't seen us that far into the anime yet. I was really just reading it phonetically. Oh, Gueldre.
Gueldre. Come on, dude. It's French.
Gueldre and male.
Anyways,
Back to Purgatory.
Purgatory.
Uh, the Demon Lord says that Meliodas could probably beat him easy if Meliodas used his quote unquote original magic. And I don't really like where this is going. I like full counter. I don't need Meliodas to be extra OP. He's already pretty damn
Yeah,
OP.
I don't know, like, honestly, like even after reading all this, I still don't understand what the fuck his original power is.
It may come up in like the last arc.
Yeah. Well, I think it was like maybe I don't know. But anyways, yeah, full counter, like it's already been established at this point that full counter wasn't his inherent ability because
Right, it was
Chandler can
taught
just
them.
use it. So
Yeah, it's like a technique of some kind that Chandler taught him.
yeah, so that's been something that I've wanted to know
Right.
about for a while.
Doesn't mean I gotta like it.
Yeah.
What I do like is the way Bond learned this new power. Every time he used physical hunt, instead of taking in the Demon Lord's power, his own strength gets sucked away from him. And eventually, Bond kind of like gets used to it enough to do it on command. So now he has the ability gift, and
Yeah.
he's able
He
to like pass on strength and stuff to others.
yeah, instead of taking it away.
Hmm.
And speaking of, the Demon Lord's power is also kind of learned here, which he can just invert any uh like status condition or whatever. I don't remember.
It's like an inversion power, and I dig it.
Yeah, but there was like something else, like in addition to just like the physical stats that were being inverted, but there was something else that it was also inverting. I don't remember what it was.
I think it was like inverting powers or something.
I don't know.
I just remember digging it.
It's interesting, yeah. I still don't
Yeah,
know if that's like a like final boss level power,
I'll probably get
but
more out of it once
well,
like
yeah,
the next arc is called the Demon Lord arc, so we'll probably get some more out of it, perhaps.
yeah,
But yeah, where this is the final fight between the little trio here. They're finally about to get past the Demon King. They're, Bond uses his new ability gift to feed like the Demon Lord his magic, which because of the inverse powers of the Demon Lord actually weakens him. So they get going, but the Demon Lord just kind of finds a way around it very easily. Like, okay, if I just turn off my power, then you're not doing anything to me.
yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah,
know, common sense. But I like it.
yeah.
And eventually, eventually, it's up to Wild to save the day.
Wild, who is like somehow like fought the Demon King like
It's
what like 200 times or something, and
like two
somehow
hundred thousand
survived
times.
or whatever it was.
It was
He
like 100,000
he
and
just keeps
something.
going back and fighting the Demon King all this
He,
time, and he still hasn't
he's
died.
very stubborn.
Yeah, so somehow, being a random pig thing stops the Demon King, or like makes him
Be,
flinch or something.
he's able to use his super duper secret hidden technique and hold off the Demon King long enough for Bon and Meliodas to make it through the purgatory hole.
It's
At the
basically like Hawk using like uh
Yeah, his
comedy
his
comedy
joke
anime
super
like
moves.
powers. Yeah.
Yeah, his joke super moves. That's fitting for his brother.
Yeah.
I was rooting for Wild to meet Hawk. His death was sad. Come on, you had
Was
to
it
have
like
felt something.
was it confirmed that he died though?
Yes. Do you know
Oh yeah, I guess it was.
I told you about how at the start of each volume before the table of context, there's like a page all in black that's basically like a connecting page between the last chapter of the previous volume and the first chapter of the new one. This one, it's literally just like Wild's body falling to the ground, and then the Demon Lord steps on it and crushes it. So yeah, he's dead.
Oh.
F.
Well, I guess I guess he is.
I
Uh
salute the pig.
oh, there we go. There okay, so you were talking earlier about how it showed how it had this cover page where it shows everyone's location.
Yeah.
Yeah. So wait, what the fuck?
What?
Where's Gerard and Matrona?
They're just kind of nearby. They're close. They're
Wait,
like
what?
about to meet up with the
Didn't
main force.
wait, didn't they already though? I'm so
No.
oh, maybe I don't know. Okay. I don't know.
You're
Anyways,
all mixed up because you watched the anime like a scrub.
no, but I thought I saw like some manga panels of them together earlier. Maybe
Yeah,
I
they were
didn't.
fighting, but they weren't with like the big human army. Yeah,
That's weird.
face is
Okay.
weird.
I mean, like you were saying earlier, it would have just been so much cooler if like they actually showed up like on the battlefield like as like the cavalry coming.
They're
Like
not important enough, I guess.
but nah,
Yeah.
they just randomly appear at some point and fight some demons in a separate location.
Yep.
Uh, Yeah,
Yep.
didn't have to happen, but okay.
But we got more important things going on. Meliodas is in a cocoon, I guess.
Um yeah, he is. Cool,
Good
I
for
guess.
him. Here's here's a hold on. I think I wrote it down somewhere. Oh, here it was. I Meliodas has just his emotional side just left purgatory. So, and we just saw like he left like seconds after Bond, which I know purgatory there's like a time dilation, but seconds is still like not that it's not going to be that long.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a
So,
few hours maybe or like minutes.
right, but Meliodas just got out of purgatory, so I'm not sure like it seems like we don't really need to accomplish anything anymore. Like this whole battle with Zeldris is about like stopping Meliodas from becoming the Demon Lord, but his emotions are on his way back. So
Well, it's
like
all a matter of how long it takes, like, because we don't know the time frame.
I
Like, because
guess
if
I
Meliodas' emotions come back after he already like did everything that he planned to do, then it's kind of a moot point.
I guess I feel like they should have made that at least a little bit um more clear, kinda.
Yeah,
But
it's
maybe that's just me.
yeah, I don't. I just think it's weird that like we just didn't know anything about like any of this stuff until now. Like it's like how the time has been like all wonky and it's kind of like cut back to this section of the story.
I like that though, and
Like it's cool in concept,
it's
but it's just
it's the same reason why I prefer like in the Black Clover manga of the reincarnation arc, why I preferred like going through all of the stuff with Asta after the reincarnation happens, then going back in time and following like, characters like Yami and Finral and stuff, because then we're on kind of like this timetable of like Asta showing up. We know it's coming, but we don't know when it's coming. It's the same. It's similar here. This whole fight with Zeldris and Chandler and Cusack, you're waiting for certain things to happen. You're waiting for like the memories of Mail to come back to them because that's gonna happen soon. You're waiting for like
yeah, but you like know it's
everybody to
gonna
show.
happen.
Yeah, yeah, you know what's going to happen. That's what I'm saying. You know it's going to happen, but you're waiting to see like what happens because of that. You know,
I feel like you
it's
get
like
more mileage out of like
it's not knowing.
it happening at the same time and like seeing Ludocio like react like is just another thing that adds on to like the whole um like the seriousness of the situation with Esterosa and Mile.
Right. that's kind of what I'm saying. But like, I'm
It,
looking forward to seeing it happen right at the worst moment. I'm waiting to see like, oh, he's about to do it, and then because I know it's coming, but it's not on my mind right now. Like, oh, he's about to do a big attack, bam! That's when the reveal happens for him. You know what I mean?
how don't you get that if it's happening simultaneously? Uh,
Just because it's just the waiting. Like you start this in the anime, you start this whole battle with Zeldris and Chandler and Cusack, not knowing that this whole reveal with man is going to happen. But in the manga, you start it and you know that like certain outer phenomenon is going to affect it. So you spend the whole fight wondering how exactly it's going to affect the fight. Is it going to be good for the heroes? Is it going to be bad for the heroes? You know what I mean? I'll
yeah, I
explain more
just
when it
no
actually
no I
happens.
get it. I just like I
It's a difference of
I don't
opinion.
feel like that's a thing.
Uh, but anyway, yeah, the Ludocio takes Merlin, Escanor, Gilthunder, and Hedrickson into the big like darkness dome around Camelot, and they roll right up on Zeldris, Chandler, and Cusack, ready to start the battle. And
Hmm.
this is a weird thing to comment on, but this battle at Camelot isn't interesting me at first much, partly because everyone there is too confident. Everybody's too chilled and self-assured of themselves that even though we know big things are happening, it doesn't feel too drastic. Like Merlin, Escanor, and Ludociel, they're all self-confident and they're cool as a cucumber, and the same goes for Zeldris, Chandler, and Cusack. Like they're all seem like, oh, you're coming at me. Nobody feels like they're on the back foot except for Hendrickson and Gilthunder, who don't do anything. They're not really active participants here.
uh
Fight. No, it takes a while before anybody besides those two start panicking, and only then do like the stakes feel real.
yeah, I could see what you mean.
Like would something like Jotaro versus Dio hit as much if Jotaro spent the whole fight like smirking and being totally as self-confident as Dio? No, because
Well,
part of it is seeing Jotaro being super serious and being like shit, shit, shit.
well, isn't
What
that
now?
like how it started and then it like kind of um
Eventually, eventually it turned around, but
yeah.
that by that point it turned around to where Dio was now the one panicking. What I'm
Hmm.
saying is that in this battle, nobody except for the two non-combatants are at all like worried. And that makes me as the reader feel not worried.
Yeah. I don't really have much to say to that.
Mm.
Um even but I mean anyways, they so it's kind of like this cool confrontation of like these are like six of like the most powerful characters that we've seen at this point.
Right.
Uh and they're about to fight. And they
Mm.
like line up like 3 on 3, like they each have their own opponent. Although it doesn't
Yeah.
really work out like that. But
Because two of them have to bend down,
yeah, oh yeah, that was interesting. Cusack was bending down to like look at
look at
Merlin,
Merlin.
and then Escanor in the front was bending down to look at Chandler. They were kind of like mirroring each other, which is pretty fucking cool.
It looks a little dumb.
You could say that. Oh,
Uh, the
um,
Yeah, we finally learn why Zeldris is working with Meliodas.
well, didn't we learn earlier in the Oh, I guess no, we didn't learn this is why he was working with Meliodas, but we did learn that he had a relationship with Gelda.
Right.
Yeah, that was right. But yeah, so he's like, yeah, I'm gonna bring back Gelda. which,
Yeah,
I knew.
he's fighting for love, and that kind of muddies who you want to win, who you're rooting for,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
It turns out he has the same goals as Meliodas, kind of.
Yeah, makes
They're kind
sense.
of
They
like
are brothers.
they're mirrors of one another.
Yeah. Zeldris is like what Meliodas would have been if he tried to accomplish his goals by like siding with the Demon King.
Yeah.
Uh, the fight's neat at the start, but like I said, it doesn't feel as tense for me. It only really becomes like interesting choreography wise once Ominous Nebula is in play,
Oh yeah.
and the back and forth between Escanor and Ludociel. Those are all really cool factors that help make the fight a bit more cool to me.
Yeah,
What do you
I
think?
mean, I don't really have too much input. It was a fight.
Ominous Nebula feels like a standability too, kinda.
It does actually.
Not really in the sense of like what Zeldris is doing, but in the sense of like how the characters are trying to overcome it. Having this one singular problem and then like trying a bunch of different stuff to get past it, going very like into the minutia. I like that stuff, and I dig how it's implemented here.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hmm. What else?
Escanor goes through his noontime thing and pulls off new attacks that are named after himself. That's pretty baller.
Wait, did he? He did?
Yeah.
I don't
Uh,
remember what it.
His divine sword Escanor with like the fingers.
Man, this is not ringing a bell at all.
Don't you remember when he was going through like his noontime super form and he was just walking towards Zeldris? He tosses away Lita and just like does a hand chop.
Oh yeah. Because the fucking axe couldn't do it, so he's just like, fuck it. My
Yep,
hand will do it.
it's pretty baller.
Yeah, so we get a bit where uh Kill Thunder jumps out in front of Ludociel to protect Margaret.
His only action in this entire
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah,
Good
pretty
job.
much.
You were you were a meat shield. We'll put that on your tombstone next to Sariel and
Yeah,
Tarmiel.
that's kind of what we expected.
Yeah,
He did exactly as expected of him, and that's it.
I think this is around the time when they get hit by the mental male reveal.
Mm, I believe so. It's after the stuff. It's after where Escanor he does the
Uh,
divine spear Escanor, and
yeah,
then turns back into little Escanor
right.
because
And
Chandler finally had the good sense to use darkness,
oh yeah,
which
the
completely shuts out Escanor.
yeah he like realizes it's a grace, and he's just like, oh, covers the sun.
But like, didn't he do this earlier though? To for the same like to because he noticed
I don't
Escanor.
I forget. I don't know.
He did dark like back when Chandler first appeared and like went after the seven deadly sins. He used darkness.
I don't.
I thought that was because he knew Escanor
I think that
was.
was just like either a side effect of him coming or just like kind of like a calling card or some sort.
If it's a calling card, that's just stupid.
Yeah. I well, that's just me trying to make a guess. I don't really know. Oh yeah. Also, before the male reveal is what Cusack does to Merlin. His apparently he's called the dozing demon because it can like invade your mind and turn you catatonic of
Oh
some
yeah,
kind. But Merlin has like mental powers that just let her fuck with him instead.
yeah. Isn't like that like one of her power? Oh, wait, no. I was gonna say I thought it was one of her powers that she got from the the divine guy
Oh
and the
yeah, I
demon
think
king.
maybe I know she was immune to brainwashing by the goddesses. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's
Well, yeah, she was immune to brainwashing by the goddesses and immune to the effects of the commandments. That was it.
right.
But that's unrelated to
It's
this.
yeah, it's still pretty cool. She just goes full Rorschach. Like I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me. I dig it.
Also, that thing with Merlin where she's immune to the commandments and she just like forgot about it, like when she was affected by Galen's truth commandment,
Right.
she just she just like forgot that she was immune to it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't think too hard about it.
I just thought I should mention that.
Don't think too hard about it.
Yeah.
This is stupid.
Yeah. This whole series is stupid.
It's fun,
It's
but
fun.
it's
Uh
fun. It has some interesting stuff, but it's also pretty stupid.
yeah, what I
But
expected.
yeah. So yeah, that's what's going on when I think Ludociel's going in for one like last strike against Zeldris when the male realizations finally hits them.
Also, Ludociel is like half naked at this point, and it's hot as fuck.
That's a dude.
Shut up.
Bro, you gay.
Actually, yeah,
Huh?
yeah, nothing. You don't gotta know nothing.
Okay.
Shut up.
All right.
Leave me
All
alone.
right. All right. I'm not saying nothing. That dude's got nice tits though.
Yep,
And yeah,
yep.
this is what I was saying earlier when I was saying like I prefer that it's not happening simultaneously in the story. I like knowing at the start of this battle that like at some point they're all going to realize Esteros' true identity and it's going to change how things are happening. And you spend the whole fight going like, okay, when's it going to happen? Okay, hold on one sec.
Okay. It's the time 2:07.
Sorry.
Cool.
So you go through this whole fight like you're essentially on a timer. You're thinking like, okay, the male reveal Esteros' true identity is going to come out at some point. So you're kind of it's in the back of your mind this whole time. You're wondering when it's going to happen and how it'll change things. And it happens right here, and it ends up like changing most of what's going on. Merlin Merlin having Cusack like in her mind comes undone because of the mental strain of the whole reveal. Ludocio's about to deal like a fatal blow, but the realization that his younger brother, is alive, makes him like
Freak the
fail at
fuck
that.
out.
Yeah, exactly. Like I liked having that in the back of my mind, and just as like you're starting to forget about it because it's been a few chapters, it comes right back. I
Mm-hmm.
dig it.
Wait, so you were saying it was a thing that you would like be thinking about this whole time and wondering when it's gonna happen, and now you're talking about how you just forget about it?
It's not
Come
that you
on,
just forget
dude.
about it.
No,
It's not that you just forget about it. It's that it's being pushed. It's in the back of your mind at the start, and as the fight goes on, it's like you're keeping track of more and more stuff. It's starting to get in the further back of your mind. You're not constantly thinking about it, and that way, it's still kind of a surprise when it happens. It's all about the timing.
mm-hmm.
and it feels like a big chunk of the confrontation so far has been building up to being built around milking this experience by having the tides turn for two of these confrontations.
Yeah.
Also,
Um.
I wanted to mention that I like the way Merlin fights at this level. It's no longer just overpowering like with Great Road. She has like all of these different setups, like trying to figure out what element Cusack and Chandler are weak to individually, and setting up these like combinations of spells. It's interesting. Feels very it's suitably wizard-like, is what I'd describe it as.
You know,
Yeah.
because she's Marlin.
Mm, mm,
Yep.
mm.
Anyways, so the tides turn once again.
Yep.
Merlin's basically fucking toying with them. So
Fusion time.
fusion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it turns out they were actually one demon all along. They just got split in two. No, nothing to see here, folks.
Yeah.
Then they came back together to one demon. Now they're big.
This weird like centaur looking motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, if this was gonna land, if this whole first demon idea was gonna land like this should have been like
Mm,
a this should have been a legend we already knew, like the drooling
yeah,
Gloxinia reveal.
like this needed to be foreshadowed like a
This needed to be
lot.
like heavily foreshadowed because
Yeah.
right here it just feels like it comes out of nowhere.
Chandler and
Ascent,
Cusack like originally came out of nowhere too.
yeah,
Like don't forget that. Like they
that
literally came out of nowhere.
that's true as well.
And then now this whole big reveal is like also out of nowhere.
Yeah, it should have been. You know what would have worked? It would have worked as like if the whole first demon story we knew about like around the time the Ten Commandments like appeared in that like stretch of like what season 2 of the anime covered. We learn about the whole first demon thing and learn that oh he was split into two guys. Then Chandler and Cusack show up, and if you remember that, you're like, oh, maybe they're those two guys. And then you get to here, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, they were.
Well,
But here,
maybe
it's just
maybe
like,
not
by the
even
way, we're
like
two guys.
maybe not even like hearing that they were split into two guys, but just like knowing like that the original demon was a thing at least would have been cool.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah, yeah,
Just anything.
yeah. TLDR, this needed foreshadowing. And it really just serves to, like, outside of maybe one instance of, like, their individuality coming into play, just kind of get these two out of the story, essentially.
Yeah. And then like and it also just felt like really like boring like having this
Yeah.
original demon around like it's just
It doesn't have
another
a
new threat.
personality.
Just
It
yeah,
doesn't even have a
no,
name.
yeah, another fucking big bad boss in this arc who like has no personality, no like expression or emotions.
No
And
real interesting powers.
yeah,
He's just strong.
like he has Chandler and Cusack's powers, but we already knew what those were, and that
He
was
doesn't
cool back then, I guess. But like, I don't
doesn't
know,
bring much
nothing
new to the
new.
table.
It's just a
And
strong
he
guy.
and he doesn't even have a name. He's just first demon. Like
Yeah,
great. How long did that take you to come up with?
I don't know. Who knows?
Uh, I think this is around the time Bond gets back.
Yeah, Bon. So they're just like walking,
Yeah,
like
they're gonna have to.
they're heading to Camelot, and then Bon just like appears in front of them. He's like,
Yeah,
"Hey,
he
I'm
can't. He
here."
comes back out of Hawk's Eye.
He's like, "Yo, I'm
Back
Bon."
and just like with the just like with the male reveal, it gives us a this gives us a nice timer on Meliodas's return. Like we have that in the back of our mind. Okay,
Yeah,
Bond's back. Sooner or later, we know that Meliodas will be back.
yeah. Won't be too long now.
Yeah. And Bond runs off. He's got something to do.
Yeah. Also, he has no reaction to King. He's
Oh
just.
yeah. Oh yeah. You're right.
I noticed that because like later on, someone else, I forget who, someone has a
H-
reaction to King, but
Hendrickson. It's
yeah,
somebody says like, "Oh, King was watching through Chastity's phone." Hendrickson's looking around like, "Is that King?
yeah.
That guy?
Meanwhile, Bond's just like, oh, I guess it's King.
He was shorter and or fatter." Yeah, but you'd think Bond of all people would have said
Yeah,
something.
yeah, and Bond
Imagine,
could have had like a cool like reaction face. Oh,
yeah,
it would have been
just
so fun.
like when we first saw King's fat form, and Bond was like, "Wait, you just changed," and Meliodas is like, "Oh, hey, his shirt changed. Look closer." Bond should have had this huge reaction.
Yeah, why? Why not? Come
Bond
on.
should Bond should have like taken like just start shitting on King's hair and like his new clothes. Like you look like a nerd. Regal.
Oh my god.
That would have been great. Missed. I guess he's in a bit of a rush though. Maybe he'll finally get a reaction.
I don't know.
Maybe we'll finally get a reaction in a couple chapters. But yeah,
No.
that really does feel like a missed opportunity. I would
Yeah.
have loved that. But yeah, he runs off, and we cut back to the big battle. The fairies and giants have joined the fray, as we saw earlier.
Yeah.
Uh, and
And
Elaine's
Elaine,
really taking the spotlight. I'm glad she's not
you
just
know,
like on bed rest this whole time.
yeah, cuz she's cool.
She's got
She
good
she she
powers.
has her, she has her own like will to fight like even though like
Yeah,
she knows that she's at risk of
yeah.
dying
She
again.
she knows she's on a timer, so she wants to make sure other people who have their whole lives ahead of them survive.
Mhm. And
Uh, she
yeah.
starts running out of power and running out of life, and for some reason loses her wings and regresses back into her lolly form. And
Yeah, I
like
don't know exactly how that happened, but it did.
fairies can lose their wings. Is it permanent?
I
Why
don't
does her body revert
Well,
to?
I was thinking it was like a side effect of like her being dead, but I
But
don't know.
but
I'm not sure.
King reverts to his little form later too,
Oh,
like near
does
the
he?
end of the yeah, near the
Oh
end of the Demon
yeah.
King fight.
I don't think it's permanent.
I doubt it's permanent, but like I did not know this was a thing that could happen.
Yeah, you would think we would have seen that with like
Helbram,
Helbram.
he
Yeah?
he straight up died.
Yeah, and so did Gloxinia. Well, actually
Yeah.
Gloxinia got his like wings like ripped out or something. So,
Oh
I
yeah.
think I think that's how it happened.
Yeah. Helbram fucking yeah, he straight up died. You'd think this would have happened to him too. So,
Yeah.
I guess
I don't know.
I don't know,
I
but
don't know.
Bond shows up to catch Elaine as she falls.
Yeah. And then he just
She's about to die.
saves her.
Yeah, he uses his new gift power that he learned in Purgatory to pass on his immortality and essentially like you know -1 plus +1 equals 0. She's not immortal, but she has her life,
Yeah.
and Bond is now mortal, but he's mortal with her. And
Yeah.
I'm glad it was foreshadowed with how he can do things in Purgatory, and this ties into their past too. He tried to give up the Fountain of Youth to save her when she was dying from the Red Demon attack, but she gave it back to him, and now he's essentially returning it to
Yeah.
her.
That's always how I
Like,
thought it would go down. Like he would
yeah,
transfer his immortality in some way.
yeah, it's just like with King, he's capping his arc in a great way, in a way that ties in with his overall arc.
Yep.
Good for him. So,
Uh
yeah, it's time to head off to Camelot.
yeah, they're just going to Camelot now, I guess.
I'm glad for the reaffirmation from Elizabeth that this isn't about just like one side winning or losing. It's about just fucking ending the holy war. I'm glad she's not just like, let's win the holy war. She's about, let's end the holy war.
Yeah, because that's her whole deal. She wants love and peace.
Yeah, I dig it. I'm glad. And Chastafel is fucking enormous and also long range now because King just sends it all the way to Camelot.
Yeah, he, fucking king, man.
Fucking King.
What a guy.
You can see why he won the first popularity poll, even over the main couple.
Fucking king.
Fucking King. Uh, oh yeah. Next comes Hendrickson's big scene. I think.
What?
Right?
I don't know. I don't. Is this the
Doesn't it?
one where Ladosiel like
I think so.
uh
Hendrickson's been just spending his time trying to keep Gil alive. Um, but after
yeah.
Ladosiel was like got hit with the male reaction, he's just all like in tears. He's so happy, and
Yeah.
he's just like, Hendrickson, I need you to carry me off to see Male. The shock to my system has left me pretty weak, and I can barely walk, let alone fly. And it turns out Hendrickson, he wasn't just simping this whole time. He was biding his time to use Purge on Ludociel and free Margaret. Makes so much sense, and I had no idea.
Yeah, same. I thought he was like just
Because
like
because it makes
crazy.
sense.
Yeah.
He's a druid. They revere goddesses
Yeah.
more than anyone else. It would make
I
sense
just
why
thought
he
he
would
was
just
like a crazy zealot.
yeah, exactly. It makes so much sense.
Except
And
for the fact that he came up with this whole plan like literally from the exact second that Ladosiel appeared.
that makes sense for him. He's been a planner this whole time. Even when he was like evil and being influenced by Fraudrin, he's been one for like plans
On
and
the
stuff.
spot, he had
He's
10
smart.
years.
He's smart. I give it to him. He's smart. But yeah, and right after he's offering himself up as Ludociel's vessel, because even though his
He's
priority was Margaret, he's still a druid and he
yeah.
still
He
worships
still wants to
Ludociel.
serve the goddesses.
Exactly, and like he he made Margaret and Gil his priority because he still feels bad about fucking them over when he was evil, and now that he's saved them, he's willing to like
Do
loose
his
his
do
mortal
yeah.
coil, do his duty. Exactly. It's very in character, and even though it doesn't actually go down, the offer the offer of him like giving up his life to make Ludociel his vessel,
Yeah.
now that he's made things right, is a very great cap to his role in the
Yeah,
story overall.
I was thinking that like was going to happen, and I figured that would be like a great way for like him to go out like as this character who was once a bad guy and now like
Yeah,
kind of becoming like just
making
giving up
amends.
his body, giving up his life to
Yeah, it would.
save the
I think
day.
it would have been better story wise if that had happened.
It
I
would have
think
been better for his character, but for Ludociel's like character, it like
that's
would have been
worse.
yeah,
Yeah,
worse.
a bit.
Because
Yeah,
with this, at least Ludociel kind of gets his like sort of redemption.
that's fair. Yeah, but yeah, even just making the offer and after like
Yeah,
saving Gil and Margaret, it's great.
yeah. It makes it puts the happy chemicals in my brain.
Compared to Dreyfus and Griamore, Hendrickson has like reached a suitable conclusion for himself in the story.
Mm-hmm.
And their conversation afterwards is very character rich and interesting as well, talking about like duty and stuff and like saying like they've kind of become friends.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to really describe it without just going line by line, but I enjoyed it very much. Oh yeah, Escanor got sent flying,
Oh, as you
as
do.
one does.
He gets
Yeah.
he gets caught by Mile.
Yeah, and I really like that.
Yeah,
It's
we
very nice.
yeah.
And I'm glad Escanor is then able, like, he offers up the grace to give back to Mile, and Miles like, oh, I can't. I'm impure now. I can't. And Escanor summons up his pluck from his big guy form, even in his little guy form. And he's like, I will let you borrow it because it's mine. And I love that. I love that he's able to do that and is able to encourage Mile with his big form's big talk, even in his little guy form. It's very nice. I love it.
Yeah.
Uh, we
We
cut back to the fight with First Demon, and the only interesting bit of him actually happens here. We learn his magic ability, Crisis, which
what was that again?
I was about to ask you. What does that do again?
uh I'll look it up
It's
quick.
Yeah, quickly now. Hurry,
uh
hurry. It's so boring.
fucking demon. How do we spell this? Original demon.
Professional demon.
This is so professional, like I said. Crisis. Uh Constantly increased while taking damage. Oh, okay, it's that one.
Right, right,
That's the
right,
cool
right, right, right,
power.
right.
It's like
Yeah, it's a pretty neat, and
there's a guy
it pairs
in Bleach that has this.
it pairs well with what's going on with this guy in story. He is like constantly kind of being pulled apart because of the like sin of having tried to overtake the demon, got split into two. So he's just kind of like falling apart as he exists, which I think is also powering up Crisis, which is a neat combination. And I also like that at certain points, the individual consciousnesses of Chandler and Cusack are kind of coming out in this guy's head. Like when he's conflicted on whether or not he actually wants Meliodas to be the Demon Lord. You kind of get Chandler and Cusack in his head kind of arguing about it.
Yeah.
If there's more of that with this guy, I'd have liked him more. But this is kind of the only
He just
part of
kind
that.
of disappears,
Yeah,
basically.
pretty much. Where does he go? Does he get defeated?
Yeah, he gets
Th-
one shot by Mile, I think, and then
that was
it's
it.
just gone.
That
And
was
like
it.
it's
Yeah.
not lingered on at all, and it's just like, okay, well, this guy didn't matter.
Bye. Uh, and yeah, Mile arrives, and so does the rest of the sins.
Yeah.
We're here to save the day. It's small on the page, but I like how Tiny Escanor is still trying to guard Merlin on the big arrival page. That's
I
very
don't see
nice.
that.
He's just like
Uh,
arms out, like no, even though he's small Escanor because he loves her.
am I not seeing the right
It's when they
panel?
all, it's when they all arrive. All the rest of the sins.
Well,
Oh yeah, this whole time Merlin's been trying to
oh, I
cast
see.
this time freeze spell. That's why she
Yes.
hasn't been fighting and just left it to Ludociel and company.
I actually really like that because
That Merlin was focusing on this.
like the inclusion of like a time ability because like normally when you see like a time ability, it's just OP. Somebody could just like stop time or do whatever like instantly. But here
Right.
she actually has to wait like 5 minutes, I think. It takes yeah,
Like 10 minutes, I think.
10 whatever it is, and they all have to like protect her like while
Yeah,
like
it
during this whole
gives.
thing, and it's pretty cool.
It's not just like a beat the bad guy fight. It's them trying to hold out for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and eventually she does. She's able to freeze time in the cocoon. That's like okay. Now that I've frozen time in there, everything should be fine. Meliodas isn't going to wake up. But then Hawk goes and flies over, and he's like, "Hey, there's a big hole in it, and it's empty. Is that bad?"
They're
and
like,
that is bad.
uh, perhaps. Well,
Yeah.
before that, they all like basically have to fight. Like Zeldris is like the last one left that like
Oh,
they have
right.
to fight.
Soldiers is still up.
Yeah. So like we basically see Zeldris like at completely at the end of his rope because he's completely like way over himself, way in over his head right here.
Yeah, he's all hurt and he's facing down all the
Mm-hmm.
sins.
Because up to this
Well,
point, like
almost all the
Zeldris
sins.
has been like basically their strongest like foe up
Right.
until this point. Like he's always been like at the pinnacle, like because he's the leader of the commandments, and he also has like several of the commandments on him, and he has power borrowed from the Demon King, so he's
Mm-hmm.
like fucking up there.
Yeah.
So like now like after him like basically just standing at in the back the entire time and watching everyone else fight, he's finally like stepping up and he's getting his ass completely whooped.
Mm.
Um, and he gets like we see him get like really desperate
Mm.
because again he's fighting for love. He's
He's,
fighting to bring back Gelda,
yeah.
which is another like parallel with Meliodas.
Mm. And yeah, he gets who defeats him again? Is it uh was it male?
I think
Uh,
so.
right. How ironic, or fitting,
Yeah,
or
Mile even says like at some point he's like we even though we weren't really brothers, we were still brothers for a while, so we should understand one another. And Celdris is still like I gotta
nah.
do this. The
You
power
don't
of
understand.
love.
You don't understand. That pussy was fire.
Yeah. Have you ever fucked a vampire? If you have,
Dude,
you would know.
how ironic that the coldest bitch at that fire.
Oh my god.
Oh, jeez.
So
We're
stupid.
we are mature.
Yes.
We're so mature. Uh, but yeah, he gets taken down by mail. The time freeze is cast, but it's too late. Meliodas is out of the cocoon, and wow, Demon Lord Meliodas looks just like his wanted poster. It's come full circle. Ain't that
Yeah.
crazy?
Insane.
And yeah, everybody's just like, Meliodas, is that you? And they start getting a little suspicious when he calls Hawk a freak. And but it turns out it's not Meliodas; it's Demon Lord himself in Meliodas's body. What? He wasn't trying to make Meliodas' successor. He was just trying to get a nice, fresh, young body for himself.
Yep.
Dang.
Well, yeah.
Looks kind of dumb. And it's cool to see like aged up buff Meliodas, but he's got all of these like
It's so weird.
spikes. Yeah, it's not as bad as like Hat Mail from earlier, but there's a
Well,
lot
it's
going
I don't
on.
think it's a bad design. It's just really weird to see Meliodas look like this. Cause like I don't. It's just so weird.
Yeah, well, I think it's meant to be a little off-putting like that, but I don't. There's a lot. The writing and like the weird spikes. And
Yeah.
he's like naked, I think.
No, he's wearing a tight suit.
Ah,
Yeah. So he
uh,
might as well be.
yeah, and he's just way stronger than everybody now because it's Meliodas.
Yeah, well,
It's
it's the
kind of
Demon King in Meliodas's body.
yeah,
So he is strong.
yes, and everybody's just kind of getting their shit rocked.
Yeah, it's just how are they gonna fight him? Oh, look,
And
it's Bond. He's
yeah,
now literally stronger than everybody else.
it all comes down to Bond, and I am here for it.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
actually really satisfying seeing Bond
it,
like being the only
the
one
OG.
that's strong enough.
Maybe Diane would come close if it was her, but
Diane?
yes,
Really?
because she's never been like the strongest around, aside from maybe the end of the Visel Fighting Festival.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know what you mean. I thought you
Uh,
were saying that she was strong enough to do this.
nah,
No, but
nah,
it would be
only
satisfying
Bond.
if she was. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's super
No,
super
but like
cool to
yeah,
have
with
Bond
yeah, cuz he's
being
been
like
so like
he's been
relegated
like
to being weak for so long.
yeah,
And
it's
now
so
he's
great to
finally
see
like
him
caught
just
up to everyone and surpassed them.
having like everybody put their pin their hopes on Bond is great.
Although I would imagine that King is probably around the same level, but he's like depleted at this point
Right.
because he's been fighting for so long.
Yeah, he was like using his powers at long range, even
Yeah.
with like the handicap of only one form at a time, like really drained him. He said so.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. But it turns out Bond's not fighting alone. Meliodas's emotions have returned, and inside of Big Melia Big's head, he's duking emotional Meliodas is duking it out with his dad.
They're fighting. Oh
The
my.
cross the cross cutting between Meliodas and Bond's fights is pretty cool, but in the manga it feels really cluttered. I don't know how it goes in the anime.
Uh, I thought it was fine in the anime.
Yeah, it was probably better. Uh, and yeah, the Sins are just kind of like chilling. They can't really do anything until
Yeah.
Gother has an idea.
Let's all use the power of friendship to win. And
I
so they
do,
do.
yeah, I do. I really like Gother bringing in the Sins with his power into Meliodas's mind. Like that makes a
Yeah.
lot of sense, and I'm glad like you got that kind of emotional backup. Because really, that's what Meliodas has needed this whole arc. Whenever
Mm-hmm.
he's around, emotional backup.
And after all, it's Meliodas' emotions.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This is also when Zeldris finally switches sides for realsies.
Yeah.
Eh,
Yet
attacking his
another.
attacking his papo. Oh yeah, yet another instance of somebody changing their allegiance.
Yeah.
Nice.
Pretty cool.
I'm really excited to see him and Gelda reunite because I love that
Yeah.
the couple of goths
Honestly,
caring about
yeah.
each other.
Definitely.
And not just this like sugary sweet couple like Meliodas and Elizabeth. They're like both these like cold and like stoic characters, but apparently they're so like in love with each other. I want to see that for realsies.
I it's probably just the sex, honestly.
That's fair. He is about that height. Like he could just stand. They could
No,
both
god
just
damn it.
stand, and he could walk forward.
Wait, what?
He can just walk. He's like half her height, so he can just walk forward and be like in the perfect.
That's not how that works at all.
Dude, what that tongue do?
Oh my
We're
god.
mature adults. Mature adults. Damn
Truly.
it.
Yes, we are.
Truly, truly, truly. I swear. Oh yeah, this is Demon Lord claims that apparently Zeltris has wanted this whole time to create a world where everyone can live in peace.
What?
Sure.
Wait, what?
I yeah,
Really?
after Zeltris turns on him, the Demon Lord's like, "Oh, Zeltris, you are always so weak-willed, wanting my power so you can make a world of peace." Does it?
Oh,
Don't you
Zeldris.
see that?
I thought you were
Yeah.
saying the Demon Lord was saying that, and I was like,
No,
"What?"
no, no. Zeldris wanted
Yeah,
that.
maybe a
Apparently,
world where everybody is a demon.
yeah. Like sure, I definitely got that from all the times Zeldris just kind of like every all Zeldris seems to want at this point is his GF back. Like, but
Yeah.
like creating a world where everyone could live.
Like
Sure.
I thought
Of
he just
course.
wanted to like
Yeah.
just get things over with so he could go to his peaceful life,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
everybody's peaceful life.
Yeah. He should have been kept as like this like self-serving guy. Like even when his allegiance falls with the good guys, he should have been wholly self-serving. Like Hiei from Yu Yu Hakusho.
I don't know.
Like he's never like out for justice. All he cares about is himself and his sister, and like too much to his chagrin, his friends. He's not like Zelda should have been similar. He shouldn't have. This line just kind of comes out of nowhere just to make it a bit more palatable that he's going to be a good guy now. I guess. Sure.
Also,
Uh,
in the manga, apparently like basically this entire chapter is double page spreads.
oh yeah,
That's pretty
that
cool.
that is pretty cool. Yeah, it may be a little
Excessive.
yeah. Oh yeah. Meliodas is fighting in his mind, and he got his darkness powers. I guess because he's technically back in his body. And holy shit, that power condensing trick that he taught himself in the Star arc
Yeah.
came back. I did not expect that, but I love it.
Mm-hmm. That was actually cool as shit.
Yeah, I
It would have been
love that.
cool if he like used that at other points and like we saw like the progression, but
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that's still cool.
Oh yeah, I love Bond freaking out over the Demon Lord attacking Zeldris. I love that
Wait,
because
what?
yeah, it's a little bit after this, I think. The Demon Lord like attacks Zeldris for attacking him, and Bond like flips his lid over it because Bond knows what a father should be like because of Zhivago and where their priorities should be because of like he never blamed Zhivago for like abandoning Bond to go save his son because like he like gets like where a father's priority should be. So he's just livid that the Demon Lord just like attacks his own son. He's just like, who cares? Go fuck yourself. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Bond beats the shit out of outside Demon Lord. Meliodas beats the shit out of inside Demon Lord. And
It's
eventually everybody what?
it's pretty cool because like Meliodas and Bond kind of have this like dynamic where they're like basic like they're best friends and they were fighting the demon lord together back in purgatory and
They're
now they
doing
have
it again.
they're doing it again but in different locations but at the same time and it's
Yeah.
cool as shit.
It's crazy. Uh and eventually everybody leaves Meliodas's mind because battle is about just about over. And the Demon Lord is kind of like having this weird freak out inside of Meliodas's body, like his powers are going nuts and stuff. And everybody kind of gives in one last like attack from each other to like contain him as the Demon Lord is like dying or being sent back to purgatory or whatever. And it's cool seeing getting it having everybody get in like one last lick. It
Mm-hmm.
reminds me of the final battle with Hendrickson actually, how everybody was
Yeah,
ganging up on him.
it was just like that except this time it's all the sins.
I dig it.
It's very cool. Also,
Yeah.
I really loved Diane's attack where she made a fucking giant crystal pillar. It was
Yeah,
cool as shit.
diamond pellet.
Di-
It's like an evolved form of the ground gladius.
yeah. Oh my god. I
And
love
event,
Diane.
yeah, the final hit is Bon slamming down Demon Lord Meliodas into that pillar. And the last bit of that chapter is Meliodas back to his normal size and Bon just kind of laying near each other like, I don't have a single unbroken bone in my body. Yeah, me neither. Lol. Yeah, Lamau. I'm glad Meliodas turned back into his normal body and wasn't stuck in that muscly, edgy body.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah, so we go into the last chapter of this arc. Since he's without a host anymore, Ladosiel's fading away like Sariel and Tarmiel did. And I'm glad they didn't forget about him. Yeah, gave him this little scene with Mael to give him like a cap on Ludosiel's development, admitting that peace between the goddesses and the demons needs to come. They can't just wipe each other out. They gotta. He's come over to Elizabeth's way of thinking, essentially,
Hmm.
and that's great. See, if this is the last we see of him, then that's fine with me.
I think he's literally dead.
Is he? I thought he just like returned to
The object
goddess
that he was
realm.
inhabiting? The
No,
goddess realm.
yeah, the goddess realm, like
Uh,
where the supreme deity is hanging out, probably.
maybe? I know that
Is
it. I'm pretty sure it was confirmed that Sariel and Tarmiel, like, died.
did they actually like fully die?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I misinterpreted then. I thought they just like without a host, they returned to
I think they
like
said. I think it was said that Mile killed. Not. Yeah,
Mile uh,
whatever. Killed him.
Esterosa. Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. If this is the end of him, then that's fine. It feels like a good
Yeah,
cap.
yeah, I think it's good, like a good way to end
Yeah.
his character.
Yeah. So yeah, they're everybody's wondering what to do now because Elizabeth's still cursed. She's still gonna die soon. But Meliodas is just like, actually, I think I could break him now. And yeah, it makes sense why he can because he did go through the process of becoming Demon Lord. It was just that like
Well, that wasn't
part. It's
that
just part.
wasn't why he was
What?
able to break it. Did
Yeah, because he needed the powers of the Demon Lord, and his body went through the process of becoming Demon Lord. It's just that part two of the plan was actual Demon Lord then possesses the body. Part two of that plan failed. Part one still happened. He still gained like a Demon Lord's body power.
no.
Really? What?
Yeah, that
What do
it
you?
turns out because didn't they say it? They said that like the power of the demon lord, like the power of half of the demon lord wasn't enough to break the curses. But then Meliodas was just like, "Yeah, I just figured out how to do it when I was in purgatory."
Is that what he?
Yeah, he literally just somehow mysteriously figured out how to do it in
I thought it
purgatory.
because he doesn't turn back into like the grown muscly form, but like he gets like the spikes on him and like
Well, that's
the
just his outfit that he had in purgatory, which somehow
no, he,
appears.
no, I mean like all like this not the outfit he made, like the
Yeah, it is.
outfit that he's still wearing it, but like he's got like when Demon Lord came out of the cocoon and like even though he was all muscly and stuff, but he had like the spikes on him and the writing and like he was like golden and stuff.
Yeah, that's all gone.
Meliodas, yeah. No, I'm saying Meliodas turns back into that. Not muscly and big, but like he's got like the spikes and stuff.
Wait,
He's
does
got a
he?
Demon Lord's power now.
Wait, when does he?
Look at the fucking chapter.
I'm looking at it right now. When? Oh, yeah, that. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Well,
his body, what
it's not the same, but it looks kind of similar.
it's literally like that's literally what it would look
Hold
like
on.
if it was on his little boy body.
Actually, a funny thing happened while I was escaping from purgatory. I just coincidentally managed to acquire that power.
Yeah, that's because his.
Maybe okay. It might actually be talking. Yeah, it might actually be talking about the power he got from the commandments.
Right,
Maybe
because
I
he
don't
went
know.
through the whole. he went through the whole process of turning his body into a demon lord's vessel. He's got that power now, and that's why he turns back into that form to break the curse. Because he has the power now, because he went through the whole process of becoming a demon lord. It's just that that whole process was meant to end with him not being in control of his own body, but he did. So now he has the power now, right?
I guess I um yeah, I don't know. I think that's probably the case. I'm gonna like I guess I'll just ask about it on No, I should wait until after we finish the series, but I was gonna say I would ask about it on Reddit, but if it's not clear by then I will ask.
That's fair.
Because I want to
Well,
know what the fucking
yeah.
deal is. Because my interpretation was that he just randomly got this power while in purgatory, like as a funny
Why would
gag.
why would he need to turn back into that like super form then?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
It makes sense to me, but maybe I'm just misinterpreting. Yeah. I'll just end my commentary by saying the visualizations of his and Elizabeth curses look fucking cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool
Like
because
that double
Elizabeth.
page spread in the
hmm
manga. That looks
Elizabeth's one
awesome.
where she was being eternally reborn was literally like an Ouroboros, and then
It's like an arbor. It's like a ring of heads with like another head
yeah,
coming out of each one's mouth.
yeah, it was like a weird Ouroboros.
I dig it. And
And
Meliodas' was like this huge demonic heart.
oh, that makes sense. I was wondering what that could be. But yeah, that makes sense.
And Meliodas used the demon lord power to finally break their curses. Big claps.
Yay.
They did it.
Well,
But
that's it.
we still got a few hanging plot threads, I guess. Demon Lord said Meliodas won't be able to like live in the human world with his new body, so I guess we'll follow up on that.
Yeah. I mean, like like we were saying earlier, it this really feels like the end. Like they just beat the fucking Demon King
Yeah,
and then got rid of the curse, which was like the curses,
the
which was like this like
the driving force.
yeah, basically the whole reason all of this was happening. And
Yeah,
I don't, and like
I,
pretty much almost everybody's character like arcs are basically done.
yeah. But we still got like 40 chapters.
Yeah, we got 40 chapters left. Guess we'll
It's the I think it's
the Demon King arc, the King of Chaos arc, and the Epilogue arc.
right.
Yeah, which is chapters 307 until 346, which is the final chapter. And
That's right.
I guess we will try to watch the movie as well. Wait, has the
It's
movie come
it's
out yet?
it's come out in Japan. I haven't been able to find a way to watch it
We might not be able to watch
online.
it.
Yeah, we may have to wait and like
Yeah,
do
we could do it as
another.
a bonus episode.
Yeah, we'll do
I
like a
think
bonus episode
yeah,
once we're able to see it.
because I know we also have to do like a bonus episode. I think for wait no maybe I thought we had to do a bonus episode for something else, but I don't remember. Anyways, that'll be a bonus episode most likely,
Yeah,
unless
maybe
we
we'll
somehow
attach
manage to
like
find it.
if we do that like movie bonus episode, maybe we can like attach to that some like oh top arcs, top characters.
Oh yeah, yeah, like we did with Black Clover.
Like yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, in which case it wouldn't really be that long of a wait probably until
Right.
it's available somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Uh,
Um, but yeah, obviously in the anime it's episodes 13 until whatever the last episode is of
mm-hmm.
season 4. Um, yeah. I
We'll
guess
see you then.
that's it for now. See you
I know.
later.